It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball. This afternoon, the Angels are back at Tempe Diablo Stadium as they get ready to take on the Kansas City Royals, a team the Angels will match up against a week from tomorrow on opening night. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. Jose, a key part of the spring training right now for the Angels, it's cut-down time.
It is that last week here in preseason, Terry, when Mike Scioscia, his staff, and also the front office have to bear down and say, which roster is going to help us the most? Well, we've already seen some moves this morning. Francisco Rodriguez, relief pitcher, who had been throwing the ball so well, has been reassigned to minor league camp. He took great strides in his development, coming back from the injury. We know a guy like Alexi Amarista is in the depth chart. He can play so many positions. He has been solid. Jorge Cantu came as a non-roster, and this big league veteran has been outstanding with the bat, with the glove, and versatility. Jason Ensringhausen will pitch for the first time in back-to-back days. It is key for him to show Mike Scioscia that the ball is going to be coming out of his hand well, and that he can bounce back after one outing.
So the final push for the roster spots for the Angels, but let's move on to starting pitching. There's still an opening as far as the number 5 spot. Let's go down the Angels starters. We'll start it off with C.J. Wilson.
Yeah, let's go back to Sunday. Mike Scioscia, the way he has it mapped out as C.J. Wilson last outing, 87 pitches, controlled environment, down in the minor leagues. Well, C.J. has been brilliant here in camp against the big league hitters. We saw the very first day when he faced the Oakland A's, great command down in the zone. After the third start, he says, I'll start incorporating my curveball and let my catch to the side. But one thing has been very clear, he's throwing strikes, and the cut fastball has been working very well.
All right, now Garrett Richards still in the mix for the number 5 spot.
You know, even a little shaky than he was the last time out, he has shown the Angels he has the stuff to really pitch at the big league level. He has been stretched more than any other of the number 5 candidates because he has been so effective. And even though the defense was a little shaky behind him last time out, he showed that plus arm, a much better breaking ball, and he knows he belongs in the big leagues. That's a big step.
Well, Jerome Williams is in the mix for the 5th spot. We haven't seen him pitch for the Angels, but he has pitched in minor league games.
Yeah, and coming into camp, he was a leading candidate because so well he did for the Angels back in September. So he's held back because of the leg injury, but he takes him out also in a minor league control environment. 41 pitches. He knows how to throw strikes. He is not that far behind because the Angels know that number 5 spot may not come up until April 15th. He's on target.
Jared Weaver figures to be the opening day starter for the Angels a week from tomorrow.
And if he's not, boy, that would be the biggest secret in baseball not revealed. But Weaver, again, went to the minor leagues, got his work in 6 innings, 93 pitches, is what Mike Scioscia wanted to get him past that threshold. He has not been as sharp as he is wanting to be, but nonetheless, the competitive spirit, knowing that it's closer and closer to that bell ringing, Terry, is going to amp it up a little bit more for the week.
All right, we've talked about the 5th spot. Brad Mills is still in the mix.
Brad Mills has done better than I think most people expected. Command of the changeup, great control. He finally gave up 2 runs against the Giants, but he's shown the Angels he has the ability to put people away with that changeup and that cut fastball.
Now, yesterday, Jose, we had a chance to see Dan Herron against the Cincinnati Reds. Not his best start this spring, but his numbers overall in the Cactus League have been very good.
They have been, and you know, yesterday he was a little up in the zone, maybe not as much movement on that cut fastball, but the guy is human. 2 earned runs in 5 2/3. You do that during the season, and the Angels' new lineup, he's going to win a lot of games.
All right, when we talk about starting pitching, we don't want to forget Irvin Santana. He has been very solid for the Angels this spring, and today we'll see Eric Hurley against Kansas City.
Yeah, we'll make a point about pointing out how Mike Scioscia maps out this last week in spring training. Santana will pitch in the minor leagues today. Hurley, who was originally a candidate for the number 5 spot, had been reassigned to the minor league side, but he comes today, Terry. He can pitch well. He's got plus arm up in the zone at times, but the breaking ball is going to be key for him. And who knows, he might find himself back in that map chart.
Well, Kendrys Morales is back in the Angel lineup, and boy, what a spring he's been having.
He's been tremendous for Kendrys Morales. He'll DH. Then the last 2 games over in Southern California, Mike Scioscia says there's no DH, but I will pinch hit him during those ball games to get him ready.
When we get back, Mark Langston will join me for the action. It's the Angels and the Kansas City Royals. The lineups in the start of the game coming up next on Fox Sports West. Back at Tempe Diablo Stadium, Terry Smith along with Mark Langston. We're getting set for Angels Cactus League baseball today. Angels back in Tempe after playing games in Scottsdale and Goodyear the past couple of days. It's time now for our starting lineups, and for the visitors for Kansas City, leading it off will be their center fielder, Lorenzo Cain. Cain, so far this spring, looks like he has solidified the leadoff spot and center field spot for the Royals. Alcides Escobar will play short and bat number 2. He hit .254 for the Royals last year. Eric Hosmer at first base will bat third, left-handed batter who was one of the top rookies in the American League last year, a .293 batting average. Jeff Rancourt in right field bats cleanup for Kansas City. Had a big year for them. He was a 2020 player a year ago, 20 homers and 22 stolen bases. Mike Moustakas, a Southern California native, at third base will bat number 5. He hit .263 in 89 games for the Royals last season. Yuniesky Betancourt, who figures to play some second base for the Royals this season, will follow. He bats number 6. He hit .252 with 13 home runs as a starting shortstop last year with Milwaukee. Mitch Meyer will DH and bat number 7. Playing left field and batting 8th will be Jason Bourgeois. He just recently came over from the Astros. He had 31 stolen bases for Houston last year. And Humberto Quintero, the catcher, will bat number 9. He came over in that same deal about a week ago from the Houston Astros. Starting pitcher for Kansas City, Everett Tiefert, 5'11", 155-pounder, 27-year-old left-hander. He was 2-1 in 26 games, 1 start, 3.27 ERA last year for Kansas City. Now the Angels lineup. Eric Ibar will lead it off at short. Eric's had a nice spring for the Halos and had the 30 stolen bases a year ago for the Angels. Howie Kendrick at second base will bat number 2. Howie's had a nice spring. Albert Pujols in the lineup at first base, bats third. Pujols having a nice spring for the Angels as well. Torrey Hunter in right field bats cleanup. Vernon Wells will be the left fielder for the Angels. He will bat out of the number 5 spot. Kendrys Morales back in the lineup. He will DH for the Halos. March Rumbo, who keeps looking better and better at third base, will play there today. He bats number 7. Hank Conger will be the Angels starting catcher. And Peter Borges in center field will bat number 9. On the hill for the Angels, just wrapping up the warm-up tosses, right-hander Eric Hurley, 26-year-old right-hander, 6'4", 195-pounder. Hurley signed with the Angels during the offseason, a minor league free agent. He will likely begin the year at AAA Salt Lake, be in their rotation. Certainly gives the Angels some insurance as far as starting pitching. The home plate umpire today is Dana DeMuth. And on the bases today, we'll have Tim McClellan, Kerwin Danley, and Alfonso Marquez. We are moments away from the start of today's game. Dimensions here in Tempe, 340 down the left side, 367 to right, 420 to dead center. Game's first pitch, it's a little bit high and away. We're underway. The count, 1 ball, no strikes on Lorenzo Cain. 79 degrees at game time here on this Thursday. And the next pitch, that's lifted in the air into left field. And trying to make a shoestring catch is Wells, and the ball gets by him. Having to track it down near the rim of the track is Borges, and safe at second to start off the game with a sinking double is Lorenzo Cain.
It was a nice piece of hitting by Lorenzo Cain. Vernon Wells came in, and this is when you make those kind of catches. Early in the game, you'll take more of a chance than you would later in the game. Vernon came in, didn't quite lay out for it because it is spring training, but Peter Borges covered some serious ground in center field, and that's what you look at. That's what these guys work on so hard in spring training, those little defensive plays, and Peter Borges was right there to pick him up and get the ball in to keep him, Lorenzo, at second base.
So the batter now is Escobar, the shortstop, with a runner at second. First ball swinging. He lines one the opposite way into right field for a base hit. They will hold Cain at third as Torrey fires the ball quickly toward home plate. Torrey was very quick in getting to that ball. Cain can run, but they were not going to risk him trying to score from second. They have runners at the corners, nobody out, and the batter will be Eric Hosmer. Eric Hurley in 3 games with the Angels this spring. 0-0 record, ERA of 4.91. And he's off to a bit of a slow start here with back-to-back hits to start off the game for Kansas City.
Well, Eric Hurley, more than likely, is not going to make the Angels team as the 5th guy. This is another opportunity for a young guy to go ahead and show Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher what you're capable of. And you've got to be able to fill in the gaps and open some eyes, and that's what this is all about here, and this is an important outing for him.
First pitch to Hosmer was a ball. He's hitting .397 this spring. He's had 4 homers. He's driven in 23 runs here in the Cactus League. And Hurley bluffs the toss. That's a lot of RBIs in spring training.
Well, this is a really good-looking young hitter for the Kansas City Royals. This kid has got such a sweet swing, kind of like Sean Green. He's nice, smooth, and he can drive the ball.
Runner at first goes. A pitch, it's lifted in the air into left field. Chasing after it is Vernon Wells. He's battling the sun out there, and Wells can't make the catch. The ball drops beside him. They'll get 1 run. The other runners weren't sure, so they had to play it halfway. And it'll be a run for Kansas City here, and they have the early 1-0 lead. Wells has had some trouble here in the first inning with that sun out there in left field.
Well, this is different than it would be back home. The sun, the glare from the sky is really intense here, and we've seen it all spring training with balls in the air. It's really difficult for these guys. They're not used to that, and it's something that they work on during in the day in the drills. But that's a ball that you got to screen yourself with your glove, and he tried everything he could. He had his hand up there, but just got eaten up by the sun.
So here's Francoeur batting with a run in. It's 1-0 Kansas City. They have runners at second and third. Francoeur hitting .236 this spring. No homers. He's driven in 6. He has a chance to drive in some runs here in the pitch. And that one is in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count.
And Eric Hurley, who's trying to open some eyes. This is a situation here. You need a little help, but you're struggling a little bit, and that would have been a big out for if you'd have got with Vernon.
Yep. Hurley ready, and the next pitch. He just misses a little bit low and away. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Hurley will throw a fastball. Will top out around 95. Has a good slider. He'll throw a changeup as well. Francoeur's had a lot of at-bats this spring. 55 at-bats. And the pitch, and he lifts one high and deep into left field, and you can kiss that thing goodbye. Out of here, a 3-run homer. So 4 batters in. It's 4-0 Kansas City. Francoeur, who clubbed 20 home runs last season for the Royals, hits his first one this spring.
Well, Eric Hurley is leaving the ball up in the strike zone, and Francoeur is a veteran player, and they don't miss those balls that are up right out over the plate. The young man's, this is a tough first inning right here.
Yeah. He's had a few things go against him in the inning, although no errors officially. And here's Moustakas batting, and the left-handed batter fouls that one off on the first base side. The count, no balls, 1 strike.
That ball was hit pretty well. Vernon Wells didn't really do much. He saw that ball gone and kind of gave it a token, turned his back, but he knew that ball was out.
Yeah, that wasn't one he was going to lose in the sun, that's for sure. And there's a foul tip held by Conger for strike 2 on Moustakas. Moustakas this spring hitting .222. He's had 1 home run. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He skies one foul back behind the plate. Conger will watch it go back to the seats out of play. So in this first inning, the Royals have had 2 doubles, a 3-run homer, and a single, and they've scored 4 runs. The 0-2 on Moustakas, and he swings and drives the ball deep down the right field side. He really hit it hard. Is it fair or foul? It's a foul ball. That was a long blast down the right field side, but foul. It goes 367 down that right field corner. And he really put a charge into it. Luckily for Hurley, a foul ball.
And that's in the players' parking lot. I think that might have rattled off a few of the cars in there.
That could have been a windshield ball, yeah. Here's the next pitch. And that one a little bit up and in for a ball. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bettencourt waiting on deck. 4 hits and 4 runs for Kansas City here in the first inning. The 1-2 pitch, and it's a high fastball. He throws it by him, struck him out for the game's first out.
That almost looked like there was a little frustration behind that fastball. He threw it up, elevated it, got a young hitter to swing through it. You can see that that one he threw a little bit harder than he's been throwing.
So Betancourt will be the batter. They have been impressed with Betancourt's play at second base. He's a guy that can also play short and third base, and he figures to be in a platoon with Chris Getz at second base when the season begins for Kansas City. Here's the 0-1 on Betancourt. That one is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he'll be like the Miser Asturis for Kansas City, a guy that can play multiple positions in the infield. Good veteran presence. Great guy to have on your team.
Next pitch, he fouls that one off just to our right, backing out of play. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Yuniesky Betancourt, Cuban native. He's in his second tour of duty now with Kansas City. They had traded him over to Milwaukee and then signed him as a free agent when last season ended. There's a pitch low, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the first, down right now 4-0. Ibar, Kendrick, and Pujols against Tieford, who will have at least a 4-run cushion before he throws his first pitch. Time called as Betancourt backs out of the box. Mitch Meyer is waiting on deck. Betancourt, their 6th batter here in the top of the first. The 2-2. That's fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We're just seeing a lot of high fastballs from Eric Hurley out there, and that's going to be something in between innings. I'm sure Mike Butcher will address with him and tell him to really focus. He's got to keep the ball down.
He has a new baseball. Next delivery, there's another ball that's hit well in the left field. Wells is going back on that one, and that one is gone. The 2nd home run here in the inning. And now the Royals' lead expands. It's now 5-0. And we'll have a little meeting at the mound right now for Eric Hurley.
It's Marcel Latchman out there, not Mike Butcher. Having a talk with the young man, and nobody better out there than Marcel Latchman. He's been on Angel pitching coach for 17 years and was the manager. Latch is so good at mechanical stuff. I'm sure they may see something that sitting down that close to the field that maybe they'll be able to help him get the ball down in the strike zone.
Betancourt's home run, his 3rd one this spring. Here's Mitch Meyer, a left-handed batter, and the first pitch that's in there for a strike. So the Angels are off to a slow start today. Down 5 before the Halos step to the plate in this game. The pitch, that one is low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Meyer.
It's so hard for a young guy that you're trying to open some eyes. You're trying to impress Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher, and you get off to a start like he's gotten. There's a lot of things going through his mind right now that, maybe he's ruining my chance to impress these guys. And
next pitch, and this one is a ball that is lifted into left field. Waiting for it is Vernon Wells. He'll put it away. It was in the air a long time, and that'll be the 2nd out. Yeah, you talk about Hurley, Mark, and of course he comes from another organization. This is his first spring in the Angels organization, and he's having to deal with a nightmarish first inning here.
The thing they're really going to watch is for him to get out of this inning and how he's going to go back out there the next inning. Is he going to make adjustments? He's going to get the ball back down in the strike zone.
Jason Bourgeois is the batter, and the first pitch of ball, it's 1-0. He began spring training with the Astros, and he swings and misses that pitch. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. This is his 8th game with the Royals since he came over in a deal a little over a week ago. The 1-1. He takes that one for a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count. Bourgeois, speedy guy, doesn't hit for much power, little guy, and the next pitch he cuts it that one and fouls it off on the right side, backing out of play. He'll be a reserve outfielder for the Royals this season, along with Mitch Meyer, who just hit in front of him. The 1-2, and that one is inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hurley not wasting much time. The 2-2 delivery. Popped on the right side. Going back is Howie Kendrick, the second baseman. He'll make the catch on the outfield grass in shallow right center. And that will end the inning. But a tough inning for Eric Hurley. The Royals score 5 runs here in the first inning, and they did it with 5 hits, including a pair of homers in the inning. No errors and nobody left. Half inning in the books. Kansas City 5. The Angels coming to bat on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. This copyrighted broadcast presented by Authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. Bottom of the first we go. The Angels in an early hole, down 5-0. And Tiefert on the hill for Kansas City. His first pitch in there, a called strike on Eric Ibar. Ibar, Kendrick, and Pujols, the batters for the Angels. Here's the next one on Eric, and he takes that one inside for a ball. Ibar is hitting .385 this spring. 20 hits, 52 times up. Here's the next one, and there's a smash by the third baseman, Moustakas. It's going to roll down the left side. Getting to it is Bourgeois, and he'll quickly fire the ball back to the second base area and hold Ibar to a leadoff hit. But Eric ripped one up that third base side to start off the Angels' first inning.
Well, he continues to swing the bat well here in the spring, and that's the great thing that Mike Scioscia's got. He can look over and look into his dugout and see a team of veteran players that the 5-run lead is nothing to them, and it's sometimes these games are good to go ahead and get behind, and you got to battle back. These games are going to happen during the season.
Howie Kendrick batting now. And the first pitch, that one is high and away for ball 1. Tiefert in 5 innings with the Royals this spring has given up 5 hits, no earned runs. He's walked 1, struck out 4. He's picked up a win in the Cactus League, a 0 ERA. Kendrick has hit 3 homers this spring. He's driven in 13 runs. He's hitting .386. And there's a toss over to first base. Timing back goes Ibar. Eric has stolen 4 this spring. Tiefert is ready. Here's the lefty's pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count on Howie Kendrick. Howie was one of a number of Angel veterans who did not go to yesterday's game in Goodyear, the game against the Reds. He stayed back here in Tempe along with Pujols and Hunter and Ibar and Morales. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Next pitch, grounded on the right side. It's fielded by Betancourt, flips to second, looks like two, and it will be the relay to first in plenty of time. So a tailor-made double play ball hit to Betancourt. A 4-6-3 double play, and here's Albert Pujols.
Well, the young left-hander, nice little sinker out there, and you know, when you give up a hit after getting 5 runs out there in the first inning, and you give up a leadoff hit, you got to go ahead and make some adjustments yourself. Nice little sinker, easy ground ball double play.
So here's Albert, and they work him inside with the first pitch fastball. It missed. Pujols .333 batting average this spring. He's hit 4 homers. The pitch, he rips that one, and it is just foul on the third base side. That was a low liner that got out there in a hurry.
It was hit so hard that Tim McClellan, the third base umpire, by the time the ball got to the wall, he finally made his call. The ball was foul.
Here's the 1-1, and that one's in there. Well, you know, having pitched with McClellan behind the plate, he takes his time with his calls, especially balls and strikes.
He sure does. Sometimes it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
The catcher knows it, though. When he's behind the plate, he says strike, but he's real slow with his cadence of letting everybody else know.
So the catcher can hear the call, but the fans and maybe the pitcher can't see it because it takes them a long time to raise the hand. 2-2 now on Pujols. 2 outs, no one on, bottom of the first. Royals got 5 in the top of the inning. And the 2-2, that one is hammered foul down the left side. Boy, Albert's getting some good swings in here. But he's hit a couple of balls hard foul down the left side.
Terry, when I was here 10 days ago, kind of as a coach deal, sitting right down on the field where all the Mike Scioscia and them sit,
right.
I was so impressed by watching Albert Pujols hit and watching how quiet everything is with him. He doesn't move his hands much, and I was really impressed by his stride. He has very little stride at all. Everything seems to be real quiet, and then when he lets it go, look out.
Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard and out of the reach of the shortstop. Escobar. It'll roll into left center. So Albert finally straightened one out a little bit and has a single. 2-out hit. And Torrey Hunter will be the next batter. The one thing we've gotten a chance to see from Pujols, especially now that he's an Angel, he does a lot of tee work before games, whether it's early in the morning here in Tempe for the Cactus League games, or when we get back home, he'll do tee work before the game, take batting practice, go back to the indoor cage, do more tee work. Here's the pitch, and that one is high. For fans that might be wondering what is tee work, that's just putting a baseball on top of a batting tee. They call it tee ball when you're little, and of course little kids hit off the batting tee. Albert Pujols does that to this day, maybe more than any major league player. Here's the pitch, and that one is smoked into center field, but it's hanging up. So Kane is there waiting. Torrey got it off the end of the bat a little bit, and the catch is made. The inning is over. So the Angels go down here in the first inning. No runs, a couple of hits. In the inning, no errors, a runner left at first. After one inning, it's 5-0 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, Wealth Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. First batter is Humberto Quintero, the catcher for the Royals, recently acquired from the Houston Astros. And here's the pitch. That one misses low. The Astros got a minor league pitcher from the Royals in the deal that brought Quintero and also Bourgeois over to Kansas City. The Royals have had some bad luck with their catchers this spring injury-wise, and there's a bouncer that's just out of the reach of the Angels shortstop Eric Ibar. That ball will skip into center field, and it's a leadoff hit. So Quintero is on, and yet another hit for the Royals. They've had 6 hits already from their first 9 batters against Eric Hurley.
Now this is the situation. You want to come back your second inning, establish yourself, and he actually made a great pitch. It was a sinker down and got, just out of the reach of Eric Ibar, and it could be one of those days.
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way right now for Hurley in the pitch. That's in there on Kane. 0-1 to count.
Well, when it's spring training like that, you're going to have an outing like this where things don't go your way, and it's how you respond the next inning is the important thing. And for him to come out and hopefully get out of this inning real quick and make some good pitches, that's what's going to be impressive.
Here's a pop-up on the right side across the foul line. Having it pop out of his glove is Howie Kendrick, but it's a foul ball. Howie had a long run there, good hustle, and there doesn't really figure to be an error on that. It'll be no play. So the batter stays alive. Kane, the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Those are the little things when you're on the mound and you see that. Howie did go a long way to try to make that play, but you're like going, uh-oh, maybe it isn't my day.
Right.
That Howie, he got there pretty quick and actually could have potentially made that catch, but it just popped out of his glove.
So it's 0-2 on Kane. He asks for time, steps out of the box. Kane has had 5 home runs this spring for Kansas City. He had 16 last year in AAA. The pitch, that one is low and outside. Looks like he's going to take over for Melky Cabrera in center field. Melky Cabrera had a surprisingly good year last year for the Royals.
He absolutely did, and to see somebody step in and with 5 home runs already this spring, he can run. This kid's got a lot of great tools.
Pitch on its way. It's lifted in the air into shallow right center. Coming in is the center fielder Peter Borges. He'll call off Torrey and make the catch. That's the first out. Some people in Kansas City have referred to Kane as kind of a modern-day Amos Otis. Can see some similarities as far as his size. Guy that can run a little bit, hit for some power. Here's Escobar getting ready to bat their shortstop. He singled and scored his first time up. It's 5-0 Royals. We're in the second. There goes the runner at first. The pitch is missed. Throw to second is way high by Conger, and no chance to get Quintero. So their catcher steals second.
Well, that is not on Hank Conger whatsoever. Albert Pujols was off the bag playing in front of him, and he got a huge jump. He had 4 or 5 steps on Hank Conger, so Hank had no chance of throwing him out. Eric Hurley didn't do a very good job holding him.
Here's the next pitch, up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So the snowball continues for Mr. Hurley out there.
Yep, no doubt. Waiting on deck is Hosmer, who's doubled in a run. Here's the pitch. This one is skied in the air into shallow center field. Way up there. Borges waiting for it to come down. He's under. He'll put it away. Peter's second straight put out for the Angels. 2 are gone. And here's Eric Hosmer. Fans, we want to remind you to subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today. Watch over 150 select spring training games live with no blackouts, and every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. Visit Angels.com for details. Hosmer's had a big spring for the Royals. The pitch, he takes that one high and outside. He was one of the better rookies in the American League last year. You have a couple of the top ones in Hosmer and Trumbo from a year ago in this game. Next pitch. That one is low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, he's got that nice, sweet, smooth, fluid swing that just is so pretty to watch. Good young player.
Hurley set. Next pitch. Hosmer drives one into center field. Borges has to go on his horse. He's running back, and that ball is gonna get out of here. It's a home run to dead center field. That was a blast off the bat of Hosmer, and he will circle the bases, and the Royals add on. Now it's 7-0.
Eric Hurley, that ball is right down the middle, belt high, and that smooth swing got fully extended, and that is a long way out there to dead center. Hit off the batter's eye about 3/4 of the way up.
So Hosmer continues to rip the baseball this spring. That is his 5th home run, and he has driven in 25 runs this spring. Here's Francoeur batting, and he drives the ball deep into center field. Borges is chasing this one, going back, and that ball is going to hit off the wall. Going into second base and stopping there with a ringing double, a near homer, is Francoeur. And they have really hit the ball hard here in the first couple of innings against Eric Hurley.
Yeah, this is really a very difficult outing for him, and something that you've just got to keep battling. You keep got to telling yourself, I got to make a pitch right here, get myself out of the inning.
Mike Moustakas will be the next batter. 7 runs, 8 hits for Kansas City. And the pitch on Moustakas. That's in there for a strike. Hurley is ready. And here's the pitch. Grounded sharply first base side, handled there by Pujols. He'll flip to Hurley. He gets to the bag in time, and the inning ends on the 3-1 ground out. But more damage for Kansas City. They had 3 hits in the inning. They scored 2 runs. They had their 3rd homer in the first 2 innings. In the inning, no errors and 1 runner left. We are headed to the bottom of the 2nd. Angels need runs, trailing 7-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the second inning here in Tempe. It's 7-0 Kansas City as Vernon Wells starts it off for the Angels. First pitch a little bit low for a ball. It's 1-0. Terry Smith along with Mark Langston. Our producer engineer is Darren Chan. Our pleasure to be with you for Thursday afternoon baseball here in the Valley. It's a pitch that's a little bit low, and the count 2 balls, no strikes. Will be shy of a sellout today. But tomorrow against Arizona, that game will be a sellout. And the final Cactus League game for the Angels against the Cubs here in Tempe on Sunday, that game is going to be a sellout as well.
Still a pretty good crowd. It's pretty close to being a sellout here today.
I'd say we'd probably have somewhere in the 7,000 plus range when it's all said and done. 3-1 now on Vernon. And the next pitch, he skies one way up in the air down the left field side. A lot of people chasing after it. The shortstop goes back, and making the grab is Escobar in front of Bourgeois, the left fielder, and that's the first out. Kendrys Morales will be the hitter. What a spring he's had. It took a while for him to finally crack the lineup, but once he has done nothing but hit, and he's hitting .615. He has 8 hits and 13 times up, including a homer and 3 RBIs, and he faces a lefty here as he will bat from the right side, the switch hitter against Teaford. First pitch on Morales, and that one is a little bit low and away. Mike Scioscia has said that the game plan when the season begins, that Morales will likely bat cleanup when there are right-handers on the hill, and then hit a little bit lower in the batting order against lefties like he's doing here today. He's hitting out of the number 6 spot. But that could also change as we get deeper into the season. He could be a fixture in the cleanup spot if things go the way the Angels are hoping.
The way he's been swinging the bat right here, that's for darn sure. The thing about it early in spring training was he was getting his reps swinging. He got a lot of swings in. It was just the running part that was having the problem. He was out running the bases every morning, and he took baby steps finally got to the cleats and the bases.
Here he bounces one foul on the third base side.
But that was the thing they were really concerned about, is when he makes those turns around the bases, and with the bases being up about 3 inches and your foot hits it, the support was the big problem, and that's a lot of it was a mental. He had to get over the mental hurdle.
Sure.
When you have an injury, you get real tentative, and we saw that the other day with Buster Posey after having the knee problems, and there was a pop-up behind home plate, and he threw his mask down. You could see him being real tentative around home plate. So when you have an injury and you're coming back from it, those little things, you got to get through those mental hurdles, and that was one of the things that was keeping him out.
Morales got a new bat. He cracked his bat on the last swing, and this time here he tips one off the catcher Quintero to stay alive. 2-2 the count. The other thing about Kendrys running the bases, Mark, he's always been a guy that when it's come time to having to slide on the bases, he's a feet first guy. Some guys like to go head first and reach for the bag. So the Angels obviously have been concerned about that coming off the ankle injury, but he's passed those tests as well. Fouls another one off on the left side.
Yeah, the more of the game action he gets, the more comfortable he's going to get, the more confidence that he's going to have that his ankle is stable and ready to go. So the spring training, that's how great spring training is, and big, and especially a guy coming off an injury. This is a time to really get your confidence that you're going to be good.
2-2 pitch, and he rips one high and deep into left field. You can kiss it goodbye. Out of here. That one lands on the driveway beyond the lawn area here in Tempe down the left side. Morales with his 2nd home run this spring, and it was a no-doubter.
Well, that'll give your ankle a lot of confidence when you can hit a ball and can just jog around the bases like that. That's actually how he got hurt, but that ball was rushed out there, and the ball... This is a tough day for a pitcher. The ball seems to be carrying pretty well here today.
No kidding. We have already had 4 home runs hit in this game, and we're not even finished with the 2nd inning. So Morales puts the Angels on the board at 7-1. And here's another guy who can hit him, Trumbo at the plate. He takes the first pitch for ball 1.
Here's another guy that was coming into spring training with an injury, and boy, he's been swinging the bat so well this entire spring, and I love his approach.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is a strike on the outside corner.
He's got a little Albert Pujols. Everything's quiet, and then when he goes to attack the ball, he uncoils like a snake.
0-1-1. He drives that one in the air into right center field. That ball is really hit out by the scoreboard and off the scoreboard. Out of here. Home run, Trumbo. Back-to-back tape measure home runs for Morales and Trumbo. The Angels get a little bit closer. It's now a 7-2 ball game.
Well, even though the ball carries real well here in Arizona, both those back-to-back home runs, they would have carried well in any ballpark. Mark Trumbull, just full extension, driving the ball to right center off the scoreboard, the netting in the scoreboard.
The batter now is Conger, and he takes the first one for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. This lineup for the Angels today against his lefty, every hitter batting right-handed against him. And that includes Conger, the switch hitter batting right. He takes that one inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Here's the next pitch, and that's a strike. So 5 home runs have been hit in this game. 3 for the Royals, 2 for the Angels, and we've yet to complete 2 innings. The ball jumping out today here in Tempe. Next pitch, and checking is Conger. They say he was holding. It's 3-1.
This might be a real good day to work on your sinker.
Yep. 3 balls, 1 strike. Conger has good power as well, and he lifts one high and deep into left field. You can kiss it goodbye. Out of here. Back-to-back home runs. It's now a 7-3 Kansas City lead.
Hank Conger. At some point, we may see the grounds crew rocking out here with the cage and the screens. This looks like the batting practice that we saw earlier. These balls are launched here.
So Conger connects his first home run this spring. Borges, the batter now, as the Angels have strung 3 straight homers together, and now Borges is hit by the pitch. It came up and in and got him around his number 25, and Peter not too happy about it, and rightfully so, as he goes to first base. Mike Scioscia is upset. He is shouting from in front of the Angel dugout, saying something to the home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth, as if to say, hey, what is going on here?
Yeah, that was an absolute intentional ball coming in hard on Peter Borges, and that's, you know, take your frustrations out by trying to get people out. And I could see pitching inside off the plate, but that one was, I think that looked pretty intentional right there.
Mike Scioscia is still upset as he is standing in front of the Angel dugout right now. The Royals manager, Ned Yost, Mike Scioscia and Ned Yost have never been too close. We'll kind of leave it at that. And Mike is really hot as he finally sits down near the Angels on deck circle. Here's Tieford's pitch, and at the plate now is Ibar, and that one is called strike on the outside corner. Mike Scioscia is still yelling at the home plate umpire, Dana DeMuth, and now he's going out to have words with him right now. And I'm sure Mike's saying, hey, you're going to yell at me. It was their pitcher that has caused the issue right now. Why aren't you yelling at them?
Yeah, Mike's making it very crystal clear that he felt that that ball was an intentional. Peter Borges was intentionally hit. He's not going to put up with that. He's protecting his players without a pitch being thrown, and that's how you protect it. So he's hot. He's letting them know that after giving up back-to-back home runs and your guy gets drilled, that's pretty obvious.
Right. 0-1 is the count on Ibar, and a toss over to first. Borges gets back. Well, it is ironic that the argument would happen between the home plate umpire Dana DeMuth and Mike Scioscia when the Angels haven't done anything wrong here whatsoever. All they've done is hit 3 straight homers and then see their batter basically intentionally hit by a pitch.
And I think that's where the argument developed. Is
Sure.
Mike Scioscia was making sure Dana DeMuth knew that wasn't intentionally being hit by a pitch, and he's not going to play that game.
Now, we haven't heard whether or not there was a warning issue by the home plate umpire. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Ibar fouls it off on the right side, backing out of play.
I think I did see Dana DeMuth point to both dugouts.
Okay.
You know, this is spring training, and that's the last thing you'd want to see is some kind of melee or some bean fest going on. And I think it's obvious to everybody that's sitting here watching this game that was intentional. And
2 strikes here on Ibar. Here's the next pitch, and Eric reaches it one and fouls it back. Well, it'll only serve to intensify opening night at the Big A. That's a week from tomorrow. There could be some bad blood brewing here going into the season opener a week from Friday.
Well, if the balls are flying out like they fly today, then the season opener, you could see some fireworks then. Not only the fireworks from the home runs, but the fireworks out on the mound.
Still 2 strikes on Ibar. Here's the next pitch. He lifts one in the air into center field. Kane has a beat on it. It's not hit very deep. It's very high, though, and he'll make the grab. And that will be out number 2. Howie Kendrick will step to the plate. Mike Scioscia is still upset. In fact, he got out of his seat again, walked into the dugout. He was pacing, and now has since returned to his seat over near the Angels on-deck circle where Pujols is waiting on deck. You're not going to see a manager in an exhibition game get that upset, I don't think, ever. But you can certainly read what's going on here, the frustration level of the Angels skipper right now.
Yeah, you're trying to protect your players, and he's basically letting his players know that I got your back, I will take care of this. And
there's a toss over to first base, and Borges gets back. Be interesting if during the half-inning break, Mike Scioscia and Dana DeMuth, the home plate umpire, have another discussion. We'll be monitoring that when we see the half-inning wrap up. The pitch, that one misses. Snap throw to first, and Borges gets back.
Well, this has been an exciting 2 innings so far, Terry.
No kidding. A lot of stuff going on here. 7-3, Kansas City. Bottom of the second. Already been 6 home runs hit in this game. Here's the pitch, and that one misses outside. 2-0 to count on Howie.
Tiford's sending a message too, by the way. He's showing Ned Yost that he wasn't going to accept those back-to-back-to-back home runs, and he was going to make a statement and saying that's unacceptable, but that's old school, actually.
Yep. The 2-0, and that one is cut on and missed. Fans, now's the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in an intimate, private, and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals now offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite today, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. The 2-1, low and in, 3-1 on Howie.
Well, Eric Hurley had 29 pitches in the first inning, and that was Tiford's 29th pitch in this inning.
And the inning isn't over yet. 2 outs. Runner at first. And a 3-1 count on Kendrick. Next pitch. He lines one into left field. That's going to be another hit. Borges will make the turn. He's headed for third base. Here comes the throw. He better hurry. He gets in safely. Bourgeois' throw is a little bit late. The inning continues. The batter will be Albert Pujols.
Well, what great base running right there by Peter Borges. He didn't hesitate one bit around second base, and with that kind of speed, it puts so much pressure on the outfielders to make good, accurate throws, and he was in there safely. So now the table's set right here. Albert Pujols, crowd would go nuts, I think, if he goes deep.
No kidding. He hit the ball sharply his first time up, lined a single. Pujols could get the Angels right back in this game, down by 4 right now. In the second, here's the pitch, and he lines one into left field. That's going to get a run on the board. Coming in is Borges. The ball rolls all the way out to the wall. Going into third base, being waved around is Howie. There will be no relay to the plate. He scores. Pujols brings in a pair, and the Angels have cut the lead to 7-5 as Albert ends at second base.
Another elevated fastball, and Tieford's lucky that that ball didn't end up out off the hotel in the back. Albert hit that about as hard as you could. So we've got some action here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, Cactus League style.
It'll be scored a double and 1 run batted in. 2 runs did score, and they're also going to charge Bourgeois, the left fielder, with an error, enabling Kendrick to come all the way in from first base. So the batter now is Torrey Hunter. He's the tying run at the plate. It's been a 5-run inning. We have had each team have a 5-run inning here in the first 2 innings of this game. Wild ball game shaping up today here in Tempe. The Angels down by a pair. Here's the pitch, and that one is low. 1 ball, no strikes. So it always seems, Mark, like you have one of those spring training games that ends up 15-12 or something like that, and we're certainly well on our way to one of those type games here today.
Usually in the Cactus Leagues, all those runs usually come later in the game, but
right.
A lot of the guys from the minor leagues are up trying to get some experience, and usually this late in the spring, you don't see a lot of these games that most of the starters have gone, 6 innings. They have the arm strength underneath them, but you're also seeing the hitters starting to catch up a little bit.
It's been a hitter's day as Hunter takes a breaking ball that's in there for a strike.
And usually there's big wind blowing out in games like this.
Yep.
Not much wind here. A little bit blowing to left to right, but not much.
Yeah, the hits today have not been cheap ones, that's for sure. Here's the 1-1 on Torrey. He chops one on the left side. The shortstop has it. Escobar's throw is in time, and the inning is over. The Angels sent 9 to the plate. 5 of them scored. In the inning, the Angels had 5 hits, including back-to-back-to-back homers by Morales, Trumbo, and Conger. In the inning, 1 error and 1 left. After 2 innings, it's 7-5 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, opening weekend is approaching. The 2012 season kicks off on Friday, April the 6th. A week from tomorrow, the Angels take on these Royals at 7:05. Opening night will include a pregame flyover, the first Big Bang Friday of the season. Don't miss out on this exciting night and the opening weekend. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. Betancourt at the plate. The 1-0 pitch missed on him. The count's 2-0 as Hurley gets ready to fire pitch number 3 to start the third inning, and that one is a breaking ball swung on and missed. 2 balls, 1 strike.
This is an important inning for Hurley. This is one of those games when you give up those runs early like that and you kind of got your head down and then you see your offense kick back in. It kind of gives you new life.
And the next pitch, that one is high. A fastball misses. 3-1 to count.
But it won't take long. I don't think they're going to stay with him much longer if he continues on this pattern.
Well, he's back in the game, certainly. The deficit has been chiseled, and there's a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count runs full on Betancourt. So it's 3-2. He thought he had ball 4, and he's not a guy who walks very often. Betancourt homered his first time up today, and the 3-2 pitch, he pops that one foul on the right side. It's going to get back to the seats and out of play.
I think on a day like today, with the way the ball is flying out of here, I don't think you'd want to walk. I think you'd rather take your chances swinging the bat today.
So we'll see what gives on the next 3-2. Eric is ready, and here it comes. And he hits one high and deep down the left field side, chasing hard down in the left field corner, and running it down is Vernon Wells. A long out, 1 away. Mitch Meyer will be the next hitter.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Vernon. He had to run a long way. These fields here in spring training are monstrous. There's a lot of ground to cover, and Vernon had to run a very long way down towards the left field corner to make that catch.
So here's Meyer set to bat. And the pitch on its way. That one is in there for a strike. Power alleys here at Tempe Diablo Stadium go right around 400 feet. Here's the pitch, and that one is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 420 to dead center here in Tempe. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Eric Hurley is getting the start for the Angels today, while Urban Santana is starting a AAA game for the Angels. Next pitch, that one is fouled back.
And this time of the spring training, you're kind of wanting, Urban's going to be pitching against Kansas City coming up next week, so you don't want to get exposure that way. So that's why Urban's down there pitching in a AAA game.
Right. Here's the 1-2. It's popped up foul on the left side, backing out of play. And the Royals are doing the same thing. Jonathan Sanchez. This would have been his turn to pitch today, but since he's going to face the Angels in Game 3 and likely oppose Santana, they have him pitching in a minor league game today as well. Here's the 1-2. That one is inside. 2-2 the count.
And those games sometimes can be very difficult for you, especially when you're a veteran pitcher like Urban Santana, to go down there. You don't have the crowd, you don't have the energy, and those guys down there, they're not afraid to swing the bat. So it's hard to set guys up sometimes down there, like he's capable of doing at this level. Those guys are swinging, and they always would want to put their mark on a big established major league pitcher.
No doubt about it. 2-2 the count here on Meyer. Here's the pitch, and he was fooled on that one. He tried to hold up, went around, struck him out. So Hurley comes in with the hard stuff there, picks up strikeout number 2 in the game. He's retired the last 3 going back to last inning, which is the longest string he's put together here in the early going. And the batter will be Jason Bourgeois. Right-handed batter looks at the first pitch. It's in there for a strike.
Boy, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more adjusted here. It looks like the ball's coming down. That was a good power cut fastball that he just threw.
Here's the 1-0. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Already in this game, 12 runs and 15 hits. And we're in the top of the third inning. It's 7-5 Kansas City. Next pitch, that one is high. And the count goes to 3-0. So Hurley trying to battle from a 3-0 count, delivers, and he had the green light to Bourgeois, and he fouls it off on the right side, backing out of play.
You get the green light this week. Next week he won't be getting the green light.
No way. 3 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch, and that one, well, it was a 2-1 pitch, I guess. So now it's 3 balls on the batter. See what happens on the next one, and here it comes, and it's fouled back, so the count runs full 3-2. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. The next pitch, and that one pitch he fouls back behind the plate. The count still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bourgeois lost the handle on the bat there. Had the bat come off his hands, but no harm, no foul. It didn't land near the catcher or the umpire. The 3-2 once again, and that one misses inside. He ends up drawing the walk. So 2-out walk. Quintero, the catcher, will be the next batter. First walk issued today by Hurley.
Well, Marcel Ashman didn't like to see that. He's the acting pitching coach today for the Angels, and when your team's battling back, you don't want to see you're getting some outs out there. Last thing you want to see is a 2-out walk.
So toss over to first. Bourgeois, who can run, gets back to the bag. I mentioned Marcel Lachman, the acting pitching coach, and Mike Butcher is observing Irvin Santana's minor league start today. We get a report on Irvin's outing. We'll let you know. Runner not going, a pitch out. So the Angels waste the pitch as Bourgeois was not breaking at first base. 1 ball, no strikes on Quintero. The Royals were a good hitting team last year. They had the 4th highest batting average in the majors. Their team average last year was .275. Another pitch out, nothing doing. So it's 2-0, and I don't know that I've ever seen a team pitch out 3 in a row. So if Bourgeois is going to run, this might be a pretty good pitch right here. We'll see what Mike Scioscia does as he's signaling to Hank Conger.
Well, that's a tough assignment. A pitcher who's struggling out on the mound, just trying to get out of the inning. You start throwing back-to-back pitch outs.
Right. And Hurley bluffing the runner back to the bag. Mentioned the Royals were a good hitting team last year, one of the best in the majors as far as team batting average. They're hitting .300 this spring. The toss over to first, and Bourgeois dives back with their 3 home runs today. They've hit 28 homers this spring. The Angels have had 3 homers. The Angels have hit 27 home runs here in the Cactus League. Angels team batting average this spring .294. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's fouled back to the screen. The runner wasn't breaking, so it's 2-1. Royals were aggressive running the bases last year. They were 3rd in the majors in stolen bases. And in adding Bourgeois, who figures to be a reserve outfielder for them, they've added a little bit more team speed with his addition. He had 31 last year with the Astros. There he goes, the 2-1 pitch. It's in there. The throw to second is way wide. It bounces away from Kendrick and picking the ball up his eye bar. So it will be a stolen base. And it is their second in this ball game.
Another opportunity for Hank Conger, but he had no chance. There was another. Bourgeois had a monster lead and a really good jump, and Hank Conger, he could have thrown it as hard as he could right on the money, and it still wouldn't have mattered.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. The pitch lined into left field. Vernon Wells will reach down, and he makes a shoestring grab to end the inning. Good job by Vernon. He got that one just before it was ready to hit the grass out there in medium left field. The inning ends on the line out. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, a walk. They leave a runner on. We're headed to the bottom of the third. It's 7-5 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget at Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations throughout Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com for the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. Vernon Wells will lead it off. We're just going to the bottom of the third inning in a wild and wacky game here in Tempe. It's 7-5 Kansas City. First pitch on Vernon. He takes, and that one is a ball. The count, 1 ball, no strikes.
Terry, how many times you've seen it? You make a great play, you lead off the inning.
There you go. Wells making a nice shoestring grab on Quintero, and here he is leading off the Angels' third. Takes the pitch for a strike, 1-1. No breeze to speak of, although the ball has carried today. 6 home runs in this game already. And the pitch, there's another hit, a liner by the mound and through into center field. So Vernon Wells, he has a leadoff single. Vernon led off last inning when the Angels sent 9 to the plate. He has his first hit today. Angels with hit number 8 in the game. And the batter now is Kendrys Morales, who started the string of home runs for the Angels last inning. Morales, Trumbo, and Conger all homered back to back to back in the bottom of the second. The pitch. He takes that one for a called strike on the outside corner.
Well, with the Angels lineup the way it's stacked, a guy that's struggling a little bit, you always look for, there's got to be a guy in this lineup that's an easy out, or I can, take a deep breath and get through. There is not one in the Angels lineup.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that one is ripped into left field. That's another hit for Morales. Going to second and heading on to third is Vernon. He better hurry, and he is thrown out. So Wells tried to go first to third on that one, and they gun him down. Morales ends up at second. He hustled on the throw to third. But Vernon Wells, the lead runner, is retired on that play at third base. Hit for Morales. Probably give him a single on that one. Taking second on the throw to third. But Kendrys 2 for 2 today.
Well, Vernon Wells on that ball, that's a play that's in front of you. A runner has to read that play, and he looked in left field, and Bourgeois bobbled the ball in left field, and that's what Vernon Wells saw. He recovered quickly and made a nice strong throw to get Vernon going to third base. But that's the aggressiveness of Mike Scioscia's teams. They put the pressure. It took a really good throw to get him at third base.
So the batter is Trumbo, and Mark in this ball game has homered his only time up. Morales leading off second base. Kendricks will end up getting a single on the ball that he hit into left field, even though he ended up at second base, and Trumbo takes the pitch for a ball.
The Angels offense, when you look at it, it is a very, very scary offense. They are capable of not only running the bases on you really well and creating havoc out there, they've got power, they've got every aspect. They can hit for average, and it's just one after another that keeps coming up the home plate. It's very exciting. Back in Anaheim, all the people are getting excited to see this team come home and do the things at Angel Stadium.
2 balls, 1 strike is the count as Trumbo awaits the next pitch. And here it comes from Tiefert, and that one is in there for a strike. Well, the lineup today, the only hitter in the starting lineup today who is hitting under 295 was Vernon Wells, and he's already had a hit today, and Vernon's had a pretty good spring. 3 homers, driven in some runs for the Angels. Here's the 2-2. Chopped on a high hop to the shortstop. It's fielded by Escobar. He looks Morales back to second and throws out Trumbo at first for the second out. So Mark is retired, and here comes Hank Conger. Conger homered last inning, his first one of the spring. Fans, Kaiser Permanente Family Sundays at the Big A are the perfect way to spend time with your family on the weekend. Free activities for kids include a wide variety of games and arts and crafts. The first Family Sunday takes place on April the 8th. Purchase your tickets. Visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. 7-5 Royals. We're in the bottom of the third, and the first pitch, that's a ball. It's 1-0. The center fielder Kane is playing Conger way over in the left center field, and if Hank ever hit a ball the opposite way down the right side, he'd have a lot of run to room. The right fielder Francoeur is playing in right center. Here's the pitch, and Conger fouls that one off right near the plate.
That's usually something you'll see in the season because it's based on a scouting report. You'll go over hitters and you're going to pitch them a certain direction. So with that in mind, they adjust the defense according to how you are going to attack certain hitters. So this is something you would actually see for sure during the season, that guys are switched over and into spots that they probably normally wouldn't be in.
Here's the next pitch, and he fouls that one off on the left side.
So what's it telling you is he's probably going to go off speed, and then when he does come inside, it's going to be with something hard in and stay away from the outer half of the plate.
Kane, that center fielder, he is way over in left center. You don't see a guy usually play that far over. He's in the gap. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here's the next pitch on Conger, and he pops it on the right side. That one is going to head back to the seats and out of play. So the count 1-2. Tomorrow, when the Angels are back in action right here in Tempe, it'll be C.J. Wilson going against Josh Colemanter. And then the Angels will play Saturday against the Cubs in Mesa, and then Sunday against the Cubs right here in Tempe, and that'll wrap up the Arizona portion of spring training. There'll be 3 games against the Dodgers back in Southern California next week. The pitch, that's fouled back by Hank. He stays alive, 1-2.
Well, I know going out, Terry, back in the Anaheim area, the Orange County area, and it seems like everywhere I go, the people are so excited about this ball club. They just cannot wait for this team to get back there and the season to get started. And a lot of them have come out here in spring training and seen this team in action, but the majority of the people can't wait for them to get back to Anaheim Stadium.
Yep. We have seen big crowds here for the Angel games in Tempe. Angels are playing their 13th game here in Tempe this spring. They played well here in the home games, 8-4 record. Here's the next pitch, and Conger fooled on that off-speed pitch. He waves at it and misses it badly. The inning is over. In the inning for the Angels, a couple of hits, but no runs, no errors, and one left. We've completed 3. We head to the 4th. It's 7-5 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, the second annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place April the 22nd. Participants will run and walk on a baseball-themed course. It goes through the Big A and finishes at FanFest. All participants receive a commemorative shirt and a voucher for a future Angels game. Sign up today at angels.com/5K. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. Terry Smith along with Mark Langston, our producer-engineer, is Darren Chan. We're headed to the 4th inning in a 7-5 ball game. Kansas City leading. New pitcher for the Angels is right-hander Eddie McKiernan, and his first pitch, that one he slings in there for a strike. This is the 4th time that he's worked for the Angels this spring. He's worked 2 2/3 innings, giving up a hit and a run. No wins, no losses. ERA 3.38. He's up from minor league camp today. And the next pitch to Kane, it's lifted in the air right to Torrey Hunter. He doesn't have to move, and he puts it away for the first out. So Kane batting for the 3rd time already in this ball game. We're only in the 4th. He's out number 1, and Escobar will be the next batter.
That's one of the great things with this complex here. The minor league complex is literally right, probably a sand wedge right down the hill. And these guys are able to come right up on the hill and come right up the hill and be able to come up here and show Mike Scioscia. It's a great opportunity for the young guys to get up here and show what they're capable of, and it's a nice short walk.
Walking distance from the big field, they call it here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Next pitch on Escobar on the 0-1. He thought about bunting, and that pitch is a strike, so he's in the hole. It's 0-2. Eddie McKiernan was born in Pasadena, resides in Temple City. 17th round pick of the Angels in 2007. He pitched at AA Arkansas last year, mostly as a starter. And there's a pitch on the outside corner, and he polishes off Escobar with little trouble. Struck him out on 3 pitches. 2 are gone.
Well, they're probably going to stretch him out a little bit today and let him get some innings in. And the minor league season is actually right around the corner, too. These guys are all going to be leaving next week also to start their minor league season. So the starting pitchers are getting stretched out at not only here at the major league level, they are down at the minor league level.
So here's Hosmer, a left-handed batter, and he looks at the first pitch, and that one misses for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. I think the Angels would like to maybe get a couple of innings, as Mark mentioned, out of McKiernan. The Angels also have Isringhausen, Walden, and Downs slated to pitch today, and left-hander Andrew Taylor is on the board as well. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hosmer.
Oh, they were hoping Eric Hurley was going to be able to get him into the 5th+ inning and
go deeper. Low 1-1. That's low and in. Hurley ended up going 3 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 7 runs earned, walked 1, struck out 2, and surrendered 3 home runs. Here's the pitch. Lined into right field. That's going to fall in for a hit. So Hosmer is having a big day. He's now had a single, double, and homer. And we're only in the 4th inning. The batter will be Francoeur, whose day has been solid as well. He's hit a 3-run homer, and he's had a double in his first 2 times up.
Well, I really am impressed by Hosmer's swing, and it is something that he had a great rookie year, and looks like he's going to be off to a fast start here in 2012.
Pitch on its way. That one is low. He reminds you of a guy we saw at first base yesterday, the Reds first baseman, who I know you love his last name.
A big fan of Joey Votto, and boy, if you can even come close to statistically what Joey Votto can do, you're going to be a sensational player.
Yep. There's a pitch that is foul tip held by Conger. The count 1-1.
You always see those lefties, those really the ones that have that really silky smooth swing. Wally Joyner had it. Ken Griffey Jr. had it. That looks like they're barely swinging and the ball just jumps off their bat.
Here's the pitch on Francoeur, and he lifts one high and deep down the left field side. Out on the warning track is Wells, and he'll make the catch. That ball just stayed in the ballpark, and the inning is over. So McKiernan was taking a deep breath when that one left the bat, but just a long out. That'll do it for Kansas City in the 4th. No runs, they had a hit, no errors, and in the inning they leave 1 runner on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up here in Tempe. It's 7-5 Kansas City on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the 4th we go. 7-5 Royals. Saboba Casino, Southern California's premier gaming and entertainment hotspot. Saboba Casino, voted loosest slots in the Inland Empire 4 years running. Saboba Casino, where winning is just the beginning. New pitcher for the Royals, Francisli Bueno, takes over for Everett Tiefert. We'll give you Tiefert's numbers in just a moment. Here's the first pitch from Bueno, and that pitch was pretty bueno for him. It was in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count.
Da-da-da.
Here's the next one on Borges. It's fouled off on the right side. 0-2 the count. Tieford, their starter, worked 3 innings. He gave up 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Didn't walk any, struck out 1, hit 1, and allowed 3 home runs. Bueno is a left-hander, and this is his 5th appearance for the Royals this spring, a non-roster pitcher. And he gets Borges to pop one up, foul on the first base side. Chasing is Hosmer. He's going to run out of room. It's about 3 rows back and out of his reach. Bueno's pitched 5 2/3 innings now, and he's allowed 2 hits, no runs, 0 ERA.
Last time Peter Borges was up, there was some excitement there.
Yes, there was.
Getting drilled, got Mike Scioscia fired up, got all the teams fired up, and you go back to back home runs. Unfortunately, Peter Borges was the victim of that, the anger.
Yep, hit by the pitch. So it's 1-2 on him here, and the next pitch from Bueno. It's fouled off on the right side, out of play. Bueno's first name is Francisli, FrancisleY. He's one of a couple of left-handed relievers they brought here to Tempe today. Here's the 1-2, and that one misses low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes after Borges, Ibar, and Kendrick to follow in a 7-5 ball game. Kansas City on top. Here's the next pitch. Peter swings and misses that one. He struck him out. So that is out number 1. Eric Ibar will be the next hitter.
It's a good-looking sinker right there that he threw. And this is a big moment for young players when they get that opportunity, especially a young pitcher like this facing a lineup like this. He will not face a lineup like this in the minor leagues this year, that's for sure.
Pitch on its way. That one is fouled back. Bueno was in the Atlanta Braves organization. He is a native of Cuba, from the capital, Havana. And he's a little lefty, 5'10", 215-pounder. He pitched in Mexico the last few years in the Mexican League. And he got into one big league game with the Atlanta Braves. That was back in 2008. Here's the pitch. That one is outside. So the count, 1 ball, 1 strike on Ibar. And Bueno's had a good spring. He signed as a minor league free agent with the Royals during the offseason. Here's a little pop that's softly hit in the left field. It's going to fall in front of Bourgeois. And Eric Ibar has his 2nd hit of the day. Broke his bat on that one, but he is on that bloop single.
Well, Eric Ibar continues to be one of the hot hitters for the Angels. Even when his bat breaks, they're falling in. And sometimes you're hoping as a hitter, you know what? I don't kind of want those. I don't want those this time of the year. You want those during the season. When you break your bat and get a hit, you want that when you're scuffling a little bit.
Yeah. So here's Howie Kendrick. Howie's had a single and 2 times up. He scored a run. Infield playing it at double play depth. Howie hit into a double play his first time up. Bueno is ready. His pitch, and that is a little bit low and outside. We were talking last half inning about the day that Eric Hosmer is having for the Royals. Single, double, homer, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs already, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hosmer in his last 10 games here in the Cactus League is hitting .529 with 14 RBIs, 12 runs scored, 18 hits, including 4 homers. So hopefully he's going to cool down when the Angels start facing him for real a week from tomorrow.
Well, you can bet the Angels have been scouting the Royals heavily throughout the last probably 2 weeks of the spring here, and they're getting scouting reports, so they're trying to find some holes. Unfortunately, I don't think there's been many holes.
Not at all the way he's been hitting. Snap throw over to first base. Ibar got back to the bag. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Angels have now out-hit the Royals. 10 hits to 9, but trail 7-5 here in the bottom of the 4th. And again a toss over to first base, and Ibar gets back.
That was a good pickoff move right there. He had Ibar kind of leaning a little bit. And Eric takes note of that. Yeah. When you don't know the pitchers, you try to get him to throw over just to see what kind of move they've got. And
he's not going the pitch. That one is low, but Ibar is getting a very big lead over at first base. So we'll see if he might be on the move. This would be a good pitch to go on. The count's 3-1 on Howie. We'll see how things shake out. 1 out in the inning. Tying run at the plate. Left-hander on the hill. Bueno with a pickoff toss again, and Ibar gets back.
And that wasn't his good one. He had a better one the one before. So a good pickoff move, you've got to show different looks. You can't show them the same thing. You got to show them sometimes a really bad move, and then when you really want to get them, that's when you really make everything look exactly like you're going to do it when you come to home plate.
Here's the next pitch. Grounded on the left side. That's a base hit just out of the reach of Moustakas and through into left field. Ibar will stop at second. Another hit for Howie, his second of the day. And here is Pujols, who's had a pair of hits for the Angels as well. And he will be stepping up, representing the go-ahead run at the plate. Keep in mind, the Royals had a 7-0 lead in this game after an inning and a half. And the Angels are only down by a couple right now here in the 4th and have another excellent scoring opportunity with their best hitter coming to the plate.
Yeah, it's a comforting feeling when you're Mike Scioscia and you know you're down 7 quick, that you look around and you go, you know what? I still like our chances. This team's going to score some runs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And any mistakes pitchers make, these guys will capitalize on that big time.
So Bueno is set, and the pitch. That one is low and in.
And another thing that's important is hitting is so contagious that when guys are swinging the bat real well, it seems to follow through the entire lineup. And they got a lot of guys that can keep that line moving.
Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. Next pitch on Albert. High and away. 2-0 the count. The thing about Pujols, there's been so many things that have been so impressive about him, but it's also his plate discipline. And he gets into good hitters counts, doesn't he? He's in one here. 2-0. The pitch, and he lines one out of the reach of the shortstop. That's another hit. Going into third base, being waved around is Ibar. The throw is way offline. He'll score. Pujols has his 3rd hit and 2nd RBI of the game. It's now a 1-run ball game. It's 7-6 Kansas City.
Another ball hit right on the screws by Albert Pujols, and Escobar, that ball was literally just a backhand. He didn't even have to take a step, and it was by him before he could get his glove to his backhand into left field quickly.
And he's a guy, Mark, they always talk about his range, what great range he has, but that was such a rocket shot, he had no chance to react.
That was good base running by Eric Ibar, by the way. He had to take a step back to make sure the play wasn't made. As soon as he saw the ball go through, he didn't hesitate one bit and scored easily. And that's the thing that this Angel team constantly does, and it puts so much pressure on everybody that's out on defense that they know that they got to come up firing.
Here's the next pitch on Torrey, and he takes that one. It evens up the count. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-6 Kansas City. The Angels have runners at first and second, 1 out, a run in. And a base hit here would likely tie up the ball game. Kendrick, the lead runner, he's at second. Torrey so far today 0 for 2, and the next pitch he grounds one foul over by Dino Ebel in the third base coaching box. Dino making a nice play and fired it right to a fan deep in the seats on that third base side.
Boy, Dino got a lot of friends real quick over there, didn't he?
1 ball, 2 strikes on Hunter. Wells waits on deck. Next pitch. Torrey swings, lifts a fly ball deep into left field. Chasing is Bourgeois, and he can't make the catch. That ball is by him, and it's out on the warning track. 1 run will score. Another being waved around. Hunter doubles in a pair, and the Angels have an 8-7 lead. Bourgeois, the left fielder, who is a speedy guy, didn't get much of a jump on that one out there, and Torrey drives in a pair.
Well, his track to the ball was incorrect. He kind of did went sideways with it instead of back towards the wall. The great thing about this right here is this shows you how much Albert Pujols has bought into the running the bases. He didn't hesitate one bit, and he was catching Howie he was right on his tail.
Yep, he was breathing down his neck right behind him. So the Angels, who are down 7 after an inning and a half, have an 8-7 lead. And still a chance to get more. 1 out, a runner at second. Bueno's pitch, and that one is inside. Bueno has given up 4 straight hits after he struck out Borges to start off the inning. 3 runs have scored in the inning. Morales is waiting on deck. Vernon Wells, who's hitting, led off last inning with a hit. He's 1 for 2 today. In the Angel lineup, every hitter in the starting lineup except for Borges has had a hit already, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th. Borges has reached base and scored a run. Here's the pitch. Wells chops that one foul over by the Royals coaching staff. Kids, the Junior Angels Kids Club now accepting members for the upcoming 2012 season for just $18. Members receive an exclusive Kids Club hat, an Angels Kookie pen, 2 ticket vouchers, a fast pass for kids, run the bases, and an Albert Pujols water bottle, and more. Sign up today at angels.com/Junior Angels. 8 runs and 13 hits for the Angels, and we're only in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off right into the Royals dugout.
This is a situation with the base open. You would think, all right, maybe if I go ahead and walk him here. And then you look on deck and you go, uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Right.
But a lot of times during the year, you will do that. You'll look on deck and see, okay, what are my chances? Vernon Wells is a good right-handed hitter. I'm a lefty. Morales is a switch hitter who doesn't hit much from the right side. Maybe that's my better option, but not so with this Angel lineup.
1-2 pitch. That ball is drilled into center field. Going back on it and unable to get to it is Kane. It's over his head. Being waved around is Torrey Hunter. He'll score. Wells has an RBI double. And the Angels' lead is growing. It's now 9-7. So that's 5 straight hits here after the first batter was retired. Dave Island, their pitching coach, is going to go out to talk to Bueno. And he has been no bueno right now.
No, there's going to be a lot of guys with no bueno with this team, the way they're able to swing the bat. So it's great to see Vernon Wells squaring the ball up. He hit a home run, line drive home run in yesterday's game. Boy, that was a really good swing right there, man. You want to see line drives. If you're the hitting coach, Mickey Hatcher, you want to see these guys hitting line drives. And they are hitting line drives, and with something behind it. That ball is... These are outfielders that can run, and these balls are by them before they can even get a good jump on it.
Brian Langerhans is going to pinch run for Vernon Wells, so he is done for the day. Langerhans could very well replace him out in left field when we get to the top of inning number 5. The first pitch is in there on Morales for a strike. Kendry's so far in the game, a homer and a single. And now this spring, he is 10 for 15. Here's the pitch, and that one is outside and low.
I was talking to Jose Mota a little bit earlier, and he said that Bueno and Kendry Morales were childhood friends. They grew up in Cuba, and they've been longtime friends.
And now they square off against each other, and there's a weak ground ball hit to second right near Betancourt, another player who hails from Cuba, and he will throw to first base, and that's the second out on the play. Langerhans moves to third. Trumbo will be the next batter with 2 outs. Trumbo a 1-for-2 day, including a home run. Right-handed batter. Hit means another run. And the first pitch, that one is cut on a miss for a strike.
What a great opportunity for a guy like Mark Trumbo, who had a great year last year, but to have a guy like Albert Pujols now added to your team and see the veteran players that they have on this team, to learn from them is just what a huge advantage. And that's, as a young player, that's part of your responsibility, to take it upon yourself to go and talk to these guys and follow and watch what they do. And if Pujols is hitting off a tee every day that we talked about earlier, guess what I'd be doing? Hitting off a tee every day.
Sure. Take his lead. 1 ball, 1 strike on Trumbo. The pitch on Mark, he takes, that's in there for a strike.
And Mark's a great student of the game. He's a guy that'll talk to you about baseball at any moment. He loves to talk about the game. He's a smart guy who understands that the conversations that you can have with these veteran guys, I can pick something up and become a better player.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, and he was fooled. Swings and misses, struck him out, and that will end the inning. But another big inning for the Angels, who get their first lead of the day. The Angels send 8 to the plate. 4 of them score. In the inning, the Angels strung 5 straight hits together. There were no errors in the inning, and in the inning, the Angels leave a runner on base. We are headed to the 5th as we go there. 9-7 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Mike Moustakas leads it off for Kansas City. We go to the 5th inning. The Angels have a 9-7 lead. First pitch from Eddie McKiernan, who worked last inning. It's in there for a called strike. Moustakas, Betancourt, and Meyer, the hitters for the Royals. And the next pitch, it's grounded on the right side and just out of the reach of Kendrick. It rolls into right center. So another hit in this ball game. Moustakas has his first of the day. That's the 10th hit for the Royals. The Angels have already had 14 hits. And the batter will be Unieski Betancourt. Understand that today we were talking a little bit earlier about Urban Santana pitching in a minor league game. His day is over, and the Angels, I'm sure, feel good with what they saw from Urban today. 6 innings, he gave up 3 hits, an earned run, walked 1, struck out 5. And there's a pitch in there for a called strike.
It's a perfect afternoon for Irvin to get his work in down below. Pretty successful. Irvin's been throwing well this spring also, so their starters have been locked in with Weaver, Heron, Wilson.
There's a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and that's in there for a called strike.
So that's perfect. You want to get in and get your work. 6 innings has stretched it out. He's going to have probably a little stint in the Freeway Series. Not many innings in that game, but he'll get a little bit of work in that series, I'm sure.
There's a pitch that's a little bit low. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Betancourt today with a homer in 2 times up. Eddie McKiernan delivers the next pitch. That one misses a little bit low.
I remember coming back from spring training, and there was a couple times where Chuck Finley and I would both piggyback in a game. You know, he would start and I would come in, and then the next year I would start and then come in. So we'd get a little bit of work in the Freeway Series, just the opportunity to pitch in the big stadiums with the crowd, and it's a totally different atmosphere than what you have here in spring training.
Right, just get a little closer feel for the start of the regular season.
And it's basically like a glorified side day.
Sure.
We throw on the side with only 55,000 people watching it.
3-2 is the count now on Betancourt. Toss over to first base. The base runner Moustakas dives back. Three balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch lifted in the air into left center field. Langerhans is out there now. He has a long run, and that ball is going to smack off the wall. Getting to the ball is Borges. They'll have runners at second and third on a ringing double off the wall in left center off the bat of Betancourt. And the Royals are in business here with nobody out and 2 runners in scoring position for Mitch Meyer. That ball just kept carrying off the bat of Betancourt. Another double for Kansas City in this game. They've had 4 of them now, along with 3 home runs.
That was just another pitch right down the middle of the plate, out over, and today is not a good day to be right out over the middle of the plate.
Here's Meyer batting, left-handed hitter, 0 for 2. He swings and misses the first pitch for strike 1. Gotten a little bit more info on Irvin's start today in a minor league game. He ended up throwing 91 pitches, and he did come out on the mound to begin the 7th inning in his start today in the minor league game. So he, we're now told, went 6 1/3 innings. He struck out 6, allowed 3 hits, the 1 earned run. He walked 2. So Santana with a nice tune-up in a minor league game today. 0-2 pitch. Chopped on the right side, a foul ball. So we'll do it again. No balls, 2 strikes on Meyer. Hope you're enjoying the action today. Thursday afternoon baseball as the Angels are winding things down here in the Cactus League. After this game, the Angels will have 2 more home games, 1 tomorrow, 1 Sunday, and 1 on the road. That'll be Saturday. Here's the pitch. Misses high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angels will square off against the Cubs this weekend. Games Saturday and Sunday. The Angels haven't faced the Cubs all spring, but they'll see them twice this coming weekend. Here's the pitch, and that's low and in. 2-2 the count. And the Cubs, a team, Mark, they've undergone a lot of changes since last season.
You know, that division, there's been some big moves in that division, and it's kind of wide open.
Yep. Here's a fly ball hit right to Torrey Hunter in right. He'll catch it. The runner at third base is going to tag. That's Moustakas. It'll be a sac fly for Meyer. So he gets a run on the board for Kansas City, and the Angel lead is now at 9-8 with the first out here in the 5th. On the play, the other base runner, Betancourt, did not advance. He's still at second. And Bourgeois will get ready for his 3rd at bat today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Bourgeois, a little right-handed batter. McKiernan delivers, and the pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. Bourgeois listed at 5'9" and about 180 pounds. He was originally in the Texas Rangers organization. Here's the pitch. He chops one on the left side, and the ball hits the runner going from second to third. So that's a break right there. Betancourt is called out, being struck by a ball batted in play. And on at first base will be Bourgeois.
You know, and that play was really a bizarre play that Betancourt started to run, but it was almost like he was running to try to screen Eric Ibar, and by doing that, the ball popped up and ended up hitting him. So he's trying to do something more than just get to third base. He was trying to screen Eric Ibar so he couldn't get him, because Bourgeois runs well, and he paid the price. The ball could have hit a rock and popped up and got him right in the leg.
Bourgeois will get credit for a hit on that. Even though there was an out on the play, the batter will not be penalized. Although had the ball not hit the base runner, Betancourt, I think he would have easily been thrown out at first. So we'll get a cheap hit, if you will, out of it. That's the way that's scored when a runner is struck by a batted ball in play. The batter, if he's safe at first base, gets a credit for a hit. The put out on the play, with Betancourt being hit by the batted ball in play, the put out goes to the nearest defender, and in this case it was Ibar, the shortstop, with that runner trying to go from second to third. There goes the runner. He's trying to steal. The pitch is strike. The throw is high, and that's another stolen base for Bourgeois, his second in the game, and the Royals have their third overall in this game.
You know, it's another situation, and Mike Scioscia was addressed that earlier in camp about pitchers doing a better job of holding runners on, and it's the situation. Hank Conger's got no chance to throw anybody out if they don't do their job and hold these guys on and get their lead closer. Don't let them. These guys are going to run, but if you close their lead down a little bit, now you're going to give Hank an opportunity to throw somebody out. But the jumps that these guys are getting. You know, you could say, oh, geez, they're running all over Hank Conger. Well, they're not running all over Hank Conger.
Pitchers just not keeping the runners close. 2-1 is the count on Quintero. 2 outs, runner at second. The next pitch, and he lays off a pitch that misses outside. It's now 3-1.
That's a pitcher's responsibility. You're more than just throwing the ball to home plate. You've got to be active in everything that you do, and holding runners on, fielding your bunts. Those are all responsibilities of a pitcher.
Time called. Quintero backs out of the box. When the Angels bat in the bottom of the 5th, leading right now 9-8. Conger, Borges, and Ibar are the batters scheduled. McKiernan is ready. 3-1 delivery. Cut on a miss. Full count. Humberto Quintero, he hit .240 last year with the Houston Astros. He also played in AAA last year. Just a brief time there. The 3-2 payoff pitch. He swings and misses. Struck him out. A pitch that was high and away, and the inning is over. So they get just 1 run in the inning. McKiernan picks up his second strikeout in his second inning of work. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and they leave a runner on base. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th. Angels have a 9-8 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get set to move to the bottom of the 5th inning, let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. New pitcher for Kansas City as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Lewis Coleman takes over, and he replaces Francisco Bueno. Bueno worked 1 inning. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs earned in walk, and he struck out 2. So Conger, the first batter against the right-hander, and Coleman's pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. Coleman last year in 48 games with the Royals had a 1-4 record with a 2.87 ERA, good ERA. And the pitch, that one misses low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. He has kind of a slinging crossfire delivery, this guy.
He does, and that's where deceptions comes from. He strides towards a right-handed hitter, and he comes a little sidearm like Jared Weaver does a little bit, and he's got a nice big frisbee breaking ball.
There's a pitch that misses inside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Coleman had 64 strikeouts last year with the Royals in 59 2/3 innings. He did give up 9 home runs, though, in just under 60 innings last year in relief. And the pitch, and he took something off that pitch. That's in there for a called strike. 2-2.
He's a guy that would be a right-hander would have a tough at bat against him because it looks like he's throwing it like right behind your head when he releases it.
The 2-2 pitch. Hank fouls one off, not far away from our booth. Out of play. 2-2 the count. Conger is homered. It's been an all or nothing day for him. A home run and a strikeout. 1 for 2. (9-8) Angels, bottom of the 5th, and Hank launches one down the right side. Hit it well, but it's way foul and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's always good for a day, guys that are switch hitters, to get at bats from both sides of the plate. It's going to happen during the season, and it's nice to get those opportunities here in spring.
The 2-2 on Conger. He lines one right at the first baseman, and Hosmer makes the grab. So that is out number 1. Borges will be the batter. Peter's been hit by a pitch. He's also struck out, scored a run. See, Mike Butcher has just sat down next to Mike Scioscia, and I'm sure they're discussing Irvin Santana's outing. Mentioned Mike Butcher was there to watch Irvin pitch today, and he's giving Mike Scioscia the briefing, I guess, so to speak.
After he took his nice stroll from down below back up here. It's probably about a 5-minute walk at best.
Yep. Here's the pitch on its way. That one is outside. Sometimes you see some of the coaches and the players on the golf cart being transported back and forth. That's always nice, I guess. Kind of rest the legs a little bit.
Well, when I was here early in the spring, my last day, I kind of hopped on there with
there you go,
Mr. Scioscia.
On the shuttle, yep.
Was grateful for that.
Here's the 2-0 on Peter. He takes a strike on the outside corner.
Scioscia, he's on it every day because he stays down there a lot longer to do some instruction down below.
Right.
So he's got to hustle back up here, and there's a lot of fans that line up and get autographs at the time, and unfortunately Mike doesn't have time to accommodate those.
Yep. Here's a lazy fly ball hit toward the line in medium right field under his Francoeur. He'll retire Borges, and there are 2 quick outs here in the Angels' 5th. Eric Ibar will bat. Fans, the first Big Bang Friday of the season is coming up. Opening night, April the 6th. And that is 1 week from tomorrow. The Angels take on these Kansas City Royals with game time at 7:05. Come on out to the Big A. Enjoy a spectacular start of the new season. Tickets available at the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. First one on Eric. He takes it low. The third baseman, Moustakas, is cheating in. He's on the grass on the left side. Howie Kendrick would be up next if the inning continues. Ibar's had a pair of hits today, a couple of singles. Next pitch, he waves at that one. Off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1.
That's the big frisbee slider we were talking about earlier. He's got a good one. He throws hard enough to keep that. When that pitch comes in, it's enough off it to really get these hitters out in front.
The 1-1 pitch, and that one misses low and in. 2-1 to count.
And that's the key to pitching. If you can change speeds, you want to speed the bat up by pitching inside, and then you go off speed to get them out on their front foot.
2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Next one on Eric, and that one is high and away, way outside. 3-1 to count. Mentioned the Angels will face the Royals to start the season. Kansas City will actually play some exhibition games in Southern California before facing the Angels a week from tomorrow. The pitch, that's another hit for Ibar. He lines one through the right side of the infield. It rolls out to Francoeur. And Eric has his 3rd hit of the day. The batter will be Howie Kendrick.
Eric Ibar is really turning into a great player. And he's turned into a really good leadoff hitter. A guy that gets on base, can steal bags. I've been just impressed watching his progression in his career of hitting 9th, and now they experimented with him leading off, and a couple times it didn't go very well, but now he is very comfortable in that leadoff position.
Yep. First pitch was a ball on Howie. 1 ball, no strikes. Coleman, the 3rd Royals pitcher today, and it's been a tough day for pitchers. The first 2 for the Royals. Starter Tieford gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. Bueno, 4 runs, 4 earned. 1 ball, no strikes. A long pause. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. Coleman's numbers for Kansas City here in the Cactus League. He's been hit around a little bit. ERA of 5.19. This is his 9th appearance. He's recorded a save. He has a win in relief. Next delivery, they pitch out. Nothing brewing. Ibar was holding on. Of course, the Royals in a bit of a predicament, Mark, because Joakim Soria, who had been their closer, he is going to be out this season. And right now, I guess it looks like Jonathan Broxton will be their closer when the regular season begins, former Dodger closer.
Yeah, it's been a weird spring. We've seen some horrific injuries at big positions. With Matson for Cincinnati, he went down after signing a big 1-year deal with Cincinnati, and he's done. And so we're out. So
Soria, I believe, is going to have Tommy John surgery next week. That'll be on Tuesday. It's slated for. The pitch. There's the pitch. It's low. Ibar goes to second. The throw skips by the second baseman. Betancourt rolls into very shallow center. So Eric gets up and moves on to third base. So he'll get the steal a second. And then gets a throwing mistake by Quintero, the catcher. He'll be charged with an error. In any case, the Angels have a runner at third with 2 outs, and a hit could mean another run.
It wasn't that bad of a throw. It was almost right on top of the bag, and Betancourt went down to try to make that quick tag to try to get Eric, and came up with it, but unfortunately didn't come up with the ball.
So the 3-2 on Howie. He takes a breaking ball and it misses low and in. So he has a walk, and Pujols, who's had a nice day, is going to step up with a chance to do some more damage. That walk is the first one issued by Royals pitchers today. Pujols, a pair of singles, a double, 2 RBIs, and he scored a run. And the Angels have done a terrific job of setting the table for him today. Albert looking for his 4th hit this afternoon against Kansas City pitchers. And the first delivery, a strike on the outside corner.
You know, when I was here earlier in camp and sitting down real close to the field and watching Albert on the on-deck circle, just this focus in the on-deck circle is impressive. How he he's might as well be at home plate. He is locked in from the on-deck circle, and that's a...
He nubs one on the first base side. It's out of the reach of Hosmer, and it rolls into shallow right field. Another run will score. Pujols has an RBI. Runners at the corners. The Angels add on with 2 outs and now lead it 10-8. 4-hit, 3 RBI day for Albert Pujols.
Well, now you're going to see how great Albert Pujols is when pitchers make mistakes, he hits line drives. That's actually was a great pitch. Albert hit it off the end of the bat, almost into the cup of the bat, and it still finds a way to get into the outfield. So great hitters have a way of making you pay for everything. Even when you make a good pitch, they're able to still put the ball in play.
Yeah, they find their holes. And Pujols did, just bouncing that one out of the reach of Hosmer. At the plate is Torrey Hunter. He backed away from a pitch. It's in there for a strike. Torrey's driven in a pair of runs today. He's 1 for 3. 16 hits and 10 runs for the Angels, and we're still in the 5th inning. What a wild game today. 10-8 Halos here, bottom of the 5th. Next pitch on Hunter. That one is low. Every pitcher who has worked on either side has given up at least a run in this game.
Well, the Angels have a couple of their veterans going to be coming into this game, and they're probably doing a little extra stretching right now.
Yep. Pitch on its way. That's fouled back.
These are weird games. When you come in and you pitch in one of these games, it's like you're thinking, all right, I'll be the guy to shut it down. And next thing you know, it's you leave 1 or 2 balls up. These guys have great focus when they're hitting. I talked about it earlier. Hitting is contagious, and it raises your focus level, it seems. So when guys are swinging the bat well, you might make some good pitches, just like the pitch we just saw, and Pujols still found a way to find a hole.
Langerhans is waiting on deck if the inning continues. The 1-2 on Hunter. He fouls it back to the screen, so Torrey battling with 2 strikes. The count stays at 1-2. Fans, the Angels have just released exclusive club-level season seats. These padded and spacious seats are a great way to take in the action. Seats include access to the Knothole restaurant and exclusive club-level amenities. Purchase these great seats by calling 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com. The 1-2 just missed, low and away. 2-2 the count. Tempe Diablo has been a hitter's paradise today. 18 runs, 28 hits already between the 2 teams, 6 home runs already, and we're not even through 5 innings. The pitch. Torrey lifts one in the air in the right field. Francoeur is chasing, has a beat on it. He'll run it down. That ball hit pretty well, but allowed out, and that will end the inning. Hunter retired, and so are the Angels, but not before another run comes in. In the inning, the Angels had 2 hits. There was an error in the inning, a walk, and the Angels will leave a pair. We're headed to the 6th, 10-8 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Scott Downs, the 36-year-old left-hander, will take over for the Angels as we get ready to move to the 6th inning. He replaces Eddie McTiernan. McTiernan worked 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, a run earned, didn't walk any, struck out 2. And the Angels also have a new right fielder, Randall Grichuk. He replaces Torrey Hunter. Torrey went 1 for 4 today with a 2-run double, and he scored a run. Kane will lead it off for Kansas City as Scott Downs gets ready to work for the 5th time this spring. He's worked 3 1/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs so far in the Cactus League. First pitch on Kane. That one misses low, and the count 1 ball, no strikes. Lorenzo Cain has a double in his 3 times up. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. As far as the regulars in this ballgame, the starting position players, 8 of the 9 for Kansas City have had hits, and the same thing for the Angels. Here's the pitch. Broke his bat, and he bounces 1 to second. Gobbled up there by Howie Kendrick. He'll throw out Kane. There's 1 gone here in the Royals' 6th inning. Alcides Escobar will be the batter. Escobar has a connection to the Angels. His cousin is former Angel pitcher Kelvin Escobar.
Kelvin was actually a really good fielding pitcher, too.
He was. And he didn't mind swinging the bat either. He, in the rare times we saw him bat for the Angels, he liked to swing the bat. In fact, he broke a Cardinal rule a few springs ago with the take sign on him. He swung and lined a hit for the Angels in a Cactus League game, much to the dismay of manager Mike Scioscia.
We saw that in yesterday's game with Dan Herron, who is a very good hitting pitcher.
Right.
Going up with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and him and Mike had a quick conversation.
There's a chopper. It's hit to short. It's fielded there by Ibar, and his throw in time to Albert Pujols. That's the 2nd out. 1 shortstop retires another. And Eric Hosmer, who's having a big day for the Royals, will be the next batter.
This is a great batter for Scott Downs to face. One of the top lefties for Kansas City, and this is a guy that this will be a matchup probably in the opening series for sure. Spring training is different for veteran pitchers like Scott Downs. You know, sometimes you come in here and you really try to work on a pitch that you're not normally going to use during the season. But this time of spring, you want to start locking in on your A stuff. But early, you work on the stuff that you wouldn't normally work on.
First pitch was low and away. Hosmer has driven in more runs than any player this spring in either the Cactus League or the Grapefruit League. He has 3 more RBIs today, 26 runs batted in this spring. And he takes that one for a strike.
It was a nice breaking ball by Scott Downs. Again, this is an important at bat for Scott in his mind. He's going to try to put in his mind this is a season matchup that I got to do well here.
1-1 pitch and a big cut by Hosmer. It's now 1-2. Kansas City Royals last year finished 20 games under 500, 71 wins, 91 losses. They were in 4th place in the AL Central. The pitch. It's chopped on a high hop out near second. Howie has to wait for it to come down. Has it, throws, and just nips him at first base. Angels might have gotten away with one right there. Looked like Hosmer might have had his 4th hit of the day, but the out at first, and the inning ends. So 3 ground ball outs. Down sets him down in a hurry here in the 6th inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Angels on top 10-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As the Angels get ready to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, the 4th pitcher of the day for Kansas City. His name is Tommy Hotovy. He spells his last name Hottovy. He is a left-hander. Hotovy is a Kansas City native who pitched collegiately at Wichita State. And he's had a good spring for the Royals. Has not allowed any earned runs in 7 relief appearances, trying to make their club. He's in a fight for maybe one of the final bullpen spots for Kansas City. So Langerhans will be the first batter to face him. It's a lefty-lefty matchup, and the pitch. Ball hit on one hop to short. Escobar has it. The throw to first is in time, and 1 pitch, 1 away. Mike Trout is going to bat now for Kendrys Morales. So Kendrys today had 3 at-bats, 2 hits, a homer, a single, and a ground out. Trout, who hasn't played a whole lot this spring because of a couple of issues. One, the virus had really had him sidelined earlier in camp, and a shoulder problem. He's still not throwing the way the Angels would like, so his at-bats when we've seen him have either come as a pinch hitter or as a DH, and he takes the first pitch here for a strike. He's had 4 at-bats this spring for the Angels, no hits. Next pitch, and that one misses low, 1-1.
We were talking about that earlier, Terry, just the other day, and you were telling me that he lost a ton of weight, and this young man is pretty lean, so he didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose.
Yep, he dropped around 17 pounds. The pitch, and it's fouled back, and you can tell looking at him, he hasn't gotten all that weight back. He's leaner looking than what we saw last season when he joined the Angels. 1-2 the count on Mike Trout.
Well, that's going to have a lingering effect for him. It's trying to get that weight back on and get your strength back.
Hotovy ready, the next pitch, and he slings that one in there for a called 3rd strike. Struck him out looking. So Trout a quick out. Trumbo will be the batter. Mark's going to bat for the 4th time today. Trumbo has had a homer, a ground out, and a strikeout today. When he homered, that was back in the Angels bottom of the 2nd when the Angels scored 5 times, and the Angels had back-to-back home runs from Morales, Trumbo, and Conger in that bottom of the 2nd. 10-8 Angels here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch right in there for a called strike. Hotovy has been a surprise in the Royals camp. He's pitched very well. And the pitch on its way. That one's cut on and missed. He is 30 years old, Tommy Hotovy.
When you're trying to make a ball club and you're getting down to the last few days of it, every outing is so critical. When you're vying for the last spot in the bullpen, man, you have got to be ready to seize that opportunity.
Here's the next pitch on Trumbo, and he chops one on the 3rd base side. It's a fair ball. The throw by Moustakas, and it's right on target. He has a good arm, and Trumbo is nipped at first. The inning is over. So the Angels have a quiet 6th inning. There haven't been too many quiet innings offensively in this game. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. We move to the 7th. 10-8 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget one of the most popular giveaways of the season is here on April the 7th. The Angels take on these Kansas City Royals with game time at the Big A at 1:10 in the afternoon. All fans in attendance receive a Big A fleece blanket courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. Number of changes for the Halos as we get ready to move to the 7th inning. New pitcher Jason Isringhausen. He replaces Scott Downs, who worked a clean top of the 6th inning with no strikeouts. The Angels have a new first baseman, Jorge Cantu, new second baseman, Taylor Lindsay, new third baseman, Alberto Callaspo, and a new shortstop, Alexi Amarista. Isringhausen's first pitch is bounced near second. Lindsay has it. His throw to first will nip Francoeur, and that'll be the first out. One pitch, one away. In the outfield, the Angels have Matt Long now taking over in center field for Peter Borges. Batter for the Royals will be Mike Moustakas. And probably when the Angels bat, when we get to the bottom of the 7th inning, we'll see the Royals bring in a whole lot of new faces. Moustakas has gone 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch, and he's looking at that one, and it's in there for a strike. They call him Moose. Mike Moustakas went to Chatsworth High School. That school with some famous alum. And the pitch, that one a little bit low. Dwight Evans went to Chatsworth High School. The actors Kevin Spacey and Val Kilmer went there. And my former radio partner Rory Marcus went to Chatsworth High School as well. The pitch, and that one is high for a ball.
Popular school.
Yep. Some good people went to that high school, no doubt.
Well, this is a big outing for Jason Isringhausen. Back-to-back days. He's another guy vying for a bullpen spot. Did a nice job yesterday. Was up just a little bit and showing Mike Scioscia he's durable and come right back-to-back.
Here's a lazy fly ball that's lifted into shallow right field. Coming in waiting is Randall Grichuk, and he puts it away. Moustakas is retired. That's the second out. And it looks like Chris Getz is going to bat here for Betancourt. He'll probably take over for him at second base as well. Betancourt went 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. Solo home run. And Getz, who figures to do some platooning at second base with Betancourt, will step up to the plate for the first time today. The left-handed batter takes that one for ball 1. Isringhausen is appearing in his 6th game this spring. He has a save. He's now worked 5 1/3 innings this spring, giving up 4 hits. The pitch, it's popped in the air in a shallow left field. Langer hands a long run in foul territory. He'll make a nice running catch around the bullpen area, and that will end the inning. So Isringhausen, for the 2nd day in a row, has a strong outing, bidding to win a spot on the Angels' opening day roster as a non-roster pitcher. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. It's 7th inning stretch time in Tempe as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Still 10-8 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. First batter up for the Angels is Hank Conger as we get ready to move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Conger is batting for the 3rd time today. Wholesale changes for the Royals across the board here, so we'll pick them all up in a moment as the next pitch misses low for a ball. Royals have the lefty out there, and that's Hadavy, who pitched last inning, and he set the Angels down 1-2-3. Here's the next pitch. That one is fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
This is a full day for Hank Conger, going right, left. Now he's back right again.
Angels have Callaspo waiting on deck. Hadavy's next pitch, and that one misses inside. 3-1 is the count. Little to no breeze to speak of here in Tempe. Flags are draped straight down out in center field. The next pitch, that one is lined into right center field. That ball is really hit hard out in right center, and it's going to smack off the base of the wall. Conger will easily get the second with a lead-off double starting off the Angels' bottom of the 7th. The changes defensively for Kansas City. The new first baseman is Max Ramirez. The new second baseman is Chris Getz. At third base, they have Kurt Mertens. And the new shortstop in the ball game, that is Sherlon Scoop. In the outfield, they have made some moves as well. The new right fielder is former Angel Terry Evans. The new center fielder is Whit Merrifield. Here's Callaspo batting, and Alberto stepping up for the first time today. Takes the first pitch for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. And it looks like the new left fielder is Carlo Testa. And there's a new catcher in the ball game. It's Brian Pena. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Alberto Callaspo.
Nice work, Terry, by the way.
We're trying our best, Mark, to keep track of it.
That's back-to-back innings with full sweeps right there.
There you go.
Spring training.
I told you these Cactus League games can be a lot more challenging than the regular season games because of all the substitutions. The pitch, there's a bouncer that hits off the mound. It's stopped by the new shortstop, and the throw to first is in time as Scoop scooped that one up and throws over to first base. So on the play, moving over to third on the 6-3 ground out will be Conger. And the Angels have a chance to drive him in with 1 out. Amarista will be the batter. Amarista has had a very solid spring, which could earn him a spot on the Angels opening day roster. He's hitting .340 this spring with 13 runs batted in. First pitch, that one misses low on the left-handed batter. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, Mike Scioscia loves this young man right here, and as versatile as he is, able to play the middle of the infield, no problems, and can pop in the outfield. Great bat. All those are intangibles that they look at when they have meetings of who's going to fill out the roster spot.
Here's a bunt of suicide squeezes on. The flip by the pitcher, Hadavy, and gunned down at home plate will be Conger. The Angels tried a suicide squeeze. That was a very good play by the pitcher, Tommy Hadavy, as he hustled off the mound, fielded the ball with his glove, scooped the ball out of the glove to the new catcher, and they get the out at the plate.
Now, these are situations right here that you work on this play just about every day in spring training when you go through pitchers' fielding practice. And this is stuff that they do when you have a squeeze play. They incorporate a squeeze play in part of the drills, and you've got to just get rid of it any way you can get to it. A lot of times you just use your glove and just scoop it and hope it's on line to the catcher.
So Cantu at the plate now, and he takes that pitch for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Still a 10-8 Angels lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Cantu, another player trying to win a spot on the opening day roster, a non-roster player who's had a very solid spring for the Angels. Of course, a lot of major league experience as well, and he drills the ball into right center field. That one is hit well out in right center. It's going to bounce and roll out to the wall. Going into third, being waved around is Amarista. He will score easily on the RBI double from Cantu, and the Angels get a run on the board a different way here in this inning. They tried to suicide squeeze one in. That didn't work, but they do get Amarista in, and the Angels now lead it 11-8.
Well, these are beginning to be tough decisions for Jerry Dipoto and Mike Scioscia when they and their staffs. They all get together and they start mapping out who's going to be on the roster. And boy, Jorge Cantu, Amarista, these guys have done their job. They've stepped up and were able to show them that they want to be part of this ball club in 2012.
8th run batted in for Cantu, who came into the game hitting .278 this spring. His average goes up a little bit. Taylor Lindsay is the batter now. He's hitting out a Albert Pujols spot. Albert had a big day today, a 4-for-4 day with 3 runs batted in. Lindsay takes that one for a called strike.
That's pretty good for a young hitter to step in. I'm stepping in for Albert Pujols today.
Yep.
And this kid's a really good young player right here. He swings the bat really well. One of the top prospects for the Angels.
Good-looking young second baseman. He checks the swing on that one, and they say he was holding. So it's 2-1 on Lindsay. Lindsay's hitting .571 this spring. 8 for 14, couple of runs batted in.
Kind of got to know this kid a little bit. I was in instructional league, and I really love the attitude of this young man. He's always got a smile on his face, always happy to be playing the game of baseball. He's excited to get here. He's a baseball junkie. He loves it. This is a great environment for him to be in, and then take this down to his minor league team, which will probably be an A-ball this year. But you take the experiences that you get here in spring training, and hopefully they carry over.
Here's a pitch he fouls off on the left side, backing out of play. He is showing that the Angels have maybe a little bit more middle infield potential than some people gave him credit for when you talk about Lindsay and Segura and now Amarista. Some good young talent fighting to get to the majors. The pitch chopped by the mound. It's out near second, stopped there by the shortstop, and Scoop's throw is in time, and that will end the inning. So it ends on a 6-3 ground out. The Angels do get a run in the inning, had a pair of doubles here in the 7th. In the inning, no errors, and in the inning, a runner left on. The 8th is coming up next. The Angels lead it 11-8 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Here in the 8th inning, a new pitcher for the Angels. Looks like Kevin Johnson is going to take over as he replaces Jason Isringhausen, who had a clean 7th inning for the Angels, no strikeouts. So Johnson will take over. We've seen him a little bit this spring for the Angels. A pitcher trying to get on the radar screen a little bit this spring. He's done a pretty good job in 3 appearances. No wins, no losses, no saves. ERA at 2.70.
Yeah, he's got a really good power sinking fastball. And when he's on, you're going to see a ton of ground balls.
So he's ready. He works from the stretch and the pitch. And the first one, that one is a pitch that misses on Meyer. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
And that's a good pitch to be having on a day like today when the ball is traveling all over the place.
No doubt. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled off by the batter waiting on deck. That was headed over near Carlo Testa, who picks it up. The attendance today here in Tempe, we'll get to it after the pitch, and that's on the outside corner. A called strike on Meyer. 1-2 the count. 6,679 here today. 6,679. Here's the 1-2, and checking the swing is Meyer. Pitch missed, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You hope a lot of the fans from the Orange County area got a chance to come out to spring training, because it is a wonderful environment for the fan. Players are relaxed.
Here's a ball bounced on the right side. Diving stop by Lindsey. Gets up and takes a hit away from Meyer. Oh, Lindsey showing there he can do it a little bit with his glove. And that was a nice defensive play by the young second baseman.
And that's another one of the added attractions you get. You get to see the future of the Angels right in front of you.
Yeah.
Taylor Lindsey with a great play at second base.
So here is Testa batting. He's hitting out a Bourgeois spot. Bourgeois had a hit and a walk, and the pitch, that one is fouled off right by the plate by Carlo Testa.
And that's what you're going to see from Kevin Johnson. A lot of balls beaten in the dirt. He's got a really good sinker, and that plays well at any level.
Yep. Here's the next pitch on Testa, and he smacks one on the dirt. It's fielded there by Cantu. Flips to the pitcher, Johnson, and that was a nice play. Another good play by the right side of the Angel infield. A 3-1 ground out for out number 2.
Well, you see these plays executed here at spring training, because guess what? That play is worked on every day. As we said, the squeeze play is worked on every day. Those plays right there, and those are the hard plays when the first baseman's got to come off, and Jorge Cantu made a great play because he had to throw it behind him. Kevin Johnson had his wherewithal to figure out where the bag was and catch the ball at the same time.
At the play now is the catcher, Humberto Quintero, and the first pitch, that one's in there for a strike. They're slated to bring in Brian Pena to catch today, but so far Quintero has gone the entire game. And there's a pitch that's a little bit low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. He's had a 1-for-3 game.
That's why, because all the other starters had at least 2 hits.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson's next delivery, and that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. Jordan Walden, the Angels closer, is slated to pitch, so Mike Scioscia might be thinking about using him in the 9th inning today. So he is still available, and we'll see if that'll be the game plan when we get to the 9th. We're in the 8th now. It's the 11-8 Angels. 2 teams have combined for 30 hits. The Angels have 18 of them. The next pitch hit on 1 hop right to second. Lindsey has it. He will throw to first in time, and it's a nice clean inning for Johnson. They go down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th as we head there. Angels up by 3. It's 11-8 Halos on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans at Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations throughout Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com for the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. First batter up for the Angels is Randall Grichuk, and he hits a ball deep in the hole. It's short, but it's stopped by the shortstop, Charlon Scoop, and he throws the first in time for the out. Grichuk is retired. One quick out here in the Angels' 8th inning. And Ryan Langerhans will be the next batter. The new pitcher is Blaine Hardy. He is pitcher number 5 of the day for the Royals. Hotovy worked 2 innings. He gave up 2 hits and a run. It was earned in walk, and he struck out 1. New catcher is Kevin David for Kansas City. And the pitch, that one is in there for a strike.
Ryan Langerhans is another guy that's battling for a position on the ball club, and a veteran hitter. He plays a lot of different roles for you. Good idea at the plate.
Langerhans in the hole here, 0-2, and the 2-strike pitch. He grounds one off the back part of the mound, and it skips through into center field for a hit. So the Angels have hit number 19 today. Langerhans will take that one. Mark talking about he's been trying to get on the radar screen for a final spot on the Angel roster. He's just 4 for 20 now this spring. Mike Trout will be the next batter. Trout took a called third strike his first time up. 11-8 Angels here in the bottom of the 8th. Next pitch, and Trout takes that one for a ball. Yesterday was the second game of the Major League regular season that was played in Japan at the Tokyo Dome. And if you didn't hear about it, the Oakland A's beat Seattle 4-1. So those two teams ended up splitting their 2 games in Japan. They'll head back to Arizona now as Trout lines a hit, the 20th of the game for the Angels, into left field. And Mike Trout has his first hit this spring. Runners at first and second.
I saw that Bartolo Colon got the win.
Yeah, Bartolo went 8 innings. He gave up 3 hits, just 1 run. He struck out 6 in getting the win. Grant Balfour got the save in that game for the A's. He opens up the season as their closer. Abel Baker is the pinch hitter for the Angels. First time we've seen him this spring, and he takes the pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. He's a left-handed batter.
It's good to see Bartolo Colon, and former Angel, and I was a former teammate of mine in Cleveland. Bartolo is just a lovable, likable guy. And he was almost out of the game a couple of years ago, did some stem cell therapy and the stem cell procedure done, and had a really good year last year.
Had a good year with the Yankees last year. Here's the 2-0 pitch on Baker, and that one misses low. Abel Baker is a Texas native from Denton, Texas. 7th round pick of the Angels last June, and he played at Orem last year where he hit .306 for Tom Kochman's Orem Owls. There's a pitch, it's low, and Baker is aboard. He has a walk, and that's going to load up the bases here with 1 out. Hank Conger is going to have a chance to do some more damage. He's had a pretty good day today.
Number 16, Hank Conger.
Well, from the Angels' perspective, Hank Conger, they know that Hank can swing the bat. Hank is a really good offensive player. Their big concern is his catching ability and getting to release the ball and throw the ball and throw guys out. And so they're more focused on his catching ability. And he's worked so hard in this camp, down there every day. And it's nice to have Mike Scioscia as your manager, doing the drills. And they know what he can hit. He just got to work on his defensive skills. And today they 3 stolen bases against him, and none of them were his fault at all. And that's a lot of that is, again, the pitcher's responsibility, and give this guy an opportunity to throw somebody out, but he can swing the bat.
The count's 0-2 on him, and the 2-strike pitch. He just got a piece of that one, chopped it foul off his right foot. So no balls, 2 strikes on Conger. Fans, get ready for the 2012 season. Choose what games you want to see for a very affordable price. The Angels Big A plan starts at just $15 per seat. Allows you to use 10 ticket vouchers, however you choose, for some 40 Angel games. The 2-strike pitch, a slow one, and misses low. It's 1-2. Don't forget the Big A plan includes promotional nights, weekends, and postseason options. You can buy your plan today at angels.com/mini plans or call 888-796-HALO. The 1-2 pitch. Conger chops the ball to short. Could be 2. The flip to second. The relay to first. It is an inning-ending double play. So the Angels had him loaded with 1 out, but Conger hits into a twin killing, and that will end the Angels' threat here in the 8th. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, no errors, and 2 left. We're headed to the 9th. The Angels have an 11-8 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we go to the 9th inning, Angels closer Jordan Walden comes in, and he has a chance to get a save. He will face the top of the batting order. Fans, Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. Whit Merrifield is the first batter up to face Walden, and his first pitch is in there. He replaces Kevin Johnson, does Jordan Walden. Johnson had a 1-2-3 inning when we saw him work in the top of the 8th. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one is outside. The count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Walden is pitcher number 6 of the day for the Angels. Hurley worked 3 innings, McKiernan 2 innings, Downs, Isringhausen, and Johnson each an inning, and Walden hoping to work an inning here as that one is tipped into the mid of Conger, and the count goes to 1-2.
Well, it's this time of the spring where if this is your role, this is the time you're going to come in, and he was going to pitch today no matter what. Now he's got an actual saves situation.
Yep. And the next pitch, that one misses for a ball. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one is a swing and a foul tip held by Conger, struck him out. Merrifield is retired, 1 gone in the 9th inning. Ryan Mound has come in the game. He's playing in left field for the Angels. And Ryan Langerhans has moved over to center field.
Shortstop, number 41, Charlotte Scoop.
So the batter will be the shortstop, Sherlon Scoop. He swings from the right side. And the pitch, that one misses low and outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. This appearance for Walden, it's his 8th this spring. A 1-0 record, no saves. 8.53 ERA. He's worked 6 2/3 innings, giving up 10 hits and 6 earned runs. He hasn't walked a batter this spring, so that's been good to see. He struck out 7. He misses on Scoop for ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, he hasn't had many times this spring to be in the 9th inning. Usually you have your closers during the early part of spring training coming in like the 4th inning or 5th inning, because that's usually when the other team still has their regulars in, so you're facing regular major league hitters and not facing, you know, the guys that are going to be in the minor league systems of teams.
Here's the next pitch, and it's lifted down the right field side, chasing in foul ground, and making the running grab on that one is Randall Gritchick. Nicely done. He made the catch just in front of the railing there, in front of the first row of seats. So they're down to their final out here in the 9th inning with the Angels up 11-8, and Max Ramirez will be the next batter.
Number 65, Max Ramirez.
Ramirez batting for the first time today. He is hitting out a Hosmer spot. Eric Hosmer had a big day. He was 3 for 4 for the Royals with a homer and 3 runs batted in. First pitch in there. Walton has looked good here against the first 2 batters, trying to get the game's final out. He's ready, and the pitch. That one is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hope you're enjoying the action today. Angels Cactus League Baseball from Tempe. Beautiful Thursday afternoon here in the Valley, and the Angels an out away from picking up their 16th win this spring. The pitch, that's low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Angels have one of the top win totals here in the Cactus League. The team with the most wins in the Cactus League, Bud Black's Padres. They've won 17 going into the day. And talking about Buddy Black's club, last time we checked, they were trailing the Cubs today, 11-9 in the 8th inning. The 3-1 pitch. That's fouled off on the right side. It's 3-2. Other scores in the Cactus League. Rockies lead an Indian split squad 6-2 in the 9th. The other Indian split squad trailing Arizona 5-4 in the 8th. Dodgers are trailing the White Sox. That game is now a final. The White Sox won it 3-1. And the Reds beat the Brewers 9-3. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He got him, swung on and missed. A fastball struck him out. Ramirez is retired, and the ball game is over. Nicely done by Jordan Walden here in the 9th inning. He faces 3 batters, strikes out 2 of the 3, and has a clean 9th inning. So the Angels come away with a victory in a wild ball game today here in Tempe. The Angels win it by the final score of 11-8. Jose Mota will be joining Angels manager Mike Socia in just a moment. We'll get some of the Angels skipper's thoughts on today's ball game. A game that certainly featured a ton of offense, with the 2 teams combining for 19 runs and 32 hits today here in Tempe, in a game that saw the Angels come back from a 7-0 deficit after an inning and a half to win this game by the final score of 11-8. The Angels beating the Royals, the team they will face on opening day. And don't forget, the season opener will be coming up 1 week from tomorrow at the Big A. Let's go down to Jose and Angels manager Mike Socia.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Mike, obviously a little intensity in the middle of this ball game, but after the 3 home runs to hit batsmen, did it take a different twist after that to you?
I don't know. I don't know if there's usually not that much adrenaline in a spring game, but our guys aren't happy getting thrown at, and we're not happy about that either. And, our guys certainly played with a little more intensity.
Do you see the way Hank Conger called the game, seeing that Kansas City score 1 run in the last 7 frames, a big influence on what happened on the mound after that?
Well, Eric Hurley early was really just struggling with everything, struggling with his command. Everything was up. I don't think there was too much Hank could do there, but once he got some pitchers that were able to execute pitches, he did a great job. That's a young lineup that's really aggressive over there, and after the first couple innings, we did a good job on the mound.
How much you get to learn by facing Kansas City now and applying some scouting and spray charts into the opening series coming up?
Oh, it always helps. Every time you play a team, you learn a little bit more about them. We had Irvin Santana, who'll be pitching against them in the first series down on the minor league fields to get him stretched out, and they were doing the same with their pitchers. So for the pitching side, we didn't learn too much, but from the offensive side, sure, you always learn.
You wanted to see Jason Isringhausen back-to-back days. How do you see the effort he put in and the way the ball's coming out of his hand?
Much better. Had a good cutter, good angle, threw some good breaking balls. It was good to see him bounce back-to-back.
Mike, thank you.
Okay, Jose.
Terry.
All right, that's Jose Mota and Angels manager Mike Scioscia. The Halos come away